all time.
Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul.
Crossover.
Double crossover.
The crossover continues to evolve. Beautiful air. The crossover brought to you by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha and everlevelconcrete.com.
Everlevel.
Good morning. Hey, Josh, I had discovered something
Yes.
yesterday when I was away.
That poll questions can be about anything?
There's a new thing going on with websites. Did you know, because I think it's now allowed, that you can put poll questions on a website?
This is amazing. I'm glad that I spent an hour and a half in a training.
Why did
for
I
it
miss
yesterday.
yesterday? Because I would have
Was it
just egged you on.
78 minutes to be exact?
Yeah.
I believe
think
is what
so.
you said.
Sorry for exaggerating my pain.
Yeah, come on, it's 2 more minutes. Come on, dude.
Our website still a thing?
Websites?
Yeah.
Our website is
Yeah.
the best website, 1620thezone.com. Have you heard of it?
In the whole company.
Everything's there. Everything's there. This is what I do when I wake up in the morning. I'm getting not my coffee, but I'm just sitting around.
I thought you're a coffee guy now.
Yeah, you're a coffee guy now. What
But
the
I
hell?
don't. It didn't happen today.
Oh, okay.
And I pull up on my computer and I just type in one, and then it's like, do you want to go to 1620thezone.com? Yes. And then all of a sudden, you guys are talking to me. You guys have takes about whatever it is. About 7:40 in the morning.
Okay.
Here comes Gary and Nick. Just boom, right at me.
Oh.
All you got to do is type in one, and then do
Wow.
enter. It'll fill out the rest for you.
Is our website 1620 the zone or just 1620?
thezone.com.
Okay.
Thezone.com.
I've not
1620 the zone.
not frequented very much.
1620.
But I guess I will start now.
Go there. It's a great place.
Because that's where all the poll questions going to be?
Well,
That's
soon.
where one a week is going to be.
Mhm.
And they're going to be about anything.
I think we should take the one from yesterday's show. Which version of My Way should Kirk Ferentz sing in his retirement press
Oh, you
conference?
got to go Sinatra.
I agree.
Like, that's the best version.
He's
I
old school.
agree.
You got to go old school.
I
yes.
agree. It's one of my favorite poll questions of the month so far. Hopefully that's our representative on the lovely 1620thezone.com.
But he's never leaving.
No, he's leaving. Here's the theory.
Why would he leave?
Here's the theory that they don't get to 320, and they're barely going to get to 200 points this year. And they win 11 games in the regular season. They go to the Big Ten championship game, and then whatever happens after that. But they had 11-win regular season. Kirk and Brian said, "I'm out. See you later." And then Kirk gets up there and he sings "My Way" by Frank Sinatra.
And he did indeed.
Okay, but hold
way.
on here.
And
He
he
did it his
says,
way.
Hold on.
Screw all you and your contracts and your bureaucracy.
They can't announce it at the same time because your reaction to those two are completely different.
Yeah. And then you wonder, where's Brian Ferentz going? Kirk can retire. He's good.
Brian can
Where's
retire,
Brian? Where's
too.
Brian going? That's true. He probably could.
Brian will go be
Gotta
a
do it.
superintendent at Finkbine, work on the golf course.
He's got great hair.
He does have.
He's got great hair.
He's got a good.
He could
good
definitely
headlines.
work at
Are
the
you
golf
saying
course.
us that don't have good hair can't get good jobs?
I'm just saying he could work at a golf course. He looks like he would rock a quarter zip
Does he look
really
like
well.
he
But he
does
has-
look
he
like
has-
he could be a golf pro?
He has the hair of a country club, not of a public golf course.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it'd have to be a country club. He'd be a club pro. Probably, actually, maybe just your clubhouse manager.
And you go up to that guy and you're like, I've never seen you swing a golf club before, but did you play on the tour?
But I bet you're good. You look like you're probably good.
Did you play on the deck? Yeah. It's just I had a cup of coffee.
He never has to tee off at all. He just looks the part. Like,
Exactly.
I bet you're pretty good.
He could do that right now if he wanted to. Instead, he just takes the hurls of bleep from every person in the nation. Meanwhile, Iowa just doesn't stop winning. It's time to start respecting Iowa because they respect us.
And Tory Taylor just continues to go coffin corner.
He's a weapon. He's a weapon.
Mhm. Yes, he is.
Punting is winning.
Hey, you know what else?
Great shirt.
You know what else is awesome is have you checked out the first names of the starting quarterbacks in the Big Ten West?
Let's go through.
We got a
them.
Deacon.
We got Deacon.
We got the Greek assassin in Minnesota.
Yeah, Athen.
Athan. We got
Athan.
Heinrich.
We got Heinrich. We got Hudson.
We got
Yeah, we do
Hudson.
have a Hudson.
We got Luke.
We have
We do have a Luke.
Tanner. Well, not anymore.
No, he's gone. He's married with children now.
Yeah.
Who
Just like
else?
that?
We got
That happened quick.
I think he had a kid during college.
How many Sinatra references are you going to drop during this crossover?
We got Ben.
No, I wasn't
Yeah, we
referring
do
to
have
I wasn't referring to Tanner Morgan.
Oh,
I was
who-
referring to Tanner Mordecai.
Oh, Tanner Mordecai.
Yeah, but he's no more with
Yes,
the injury.
his hand
but-
is broken now.
Yes.
So who's his guy? Who's his backup? The guy they put in on
yeah,
Brendan? Braden?
Lock, Braden.
Braden
Braden
Lock.
Lock.
Braden Lock, yeah.
We got a Braden.
We got some
Who we
funky
missing?
parents that had kids that all of a sudden are quarterbacking in the Big Ten West.
We don't have like a Joe.
Do we need a Joe?
Or a Ryan. We did have a Ryan Helinski at one point.
Well, I
Not
mean,
that
a
long
Jeff.
ago.
A Jeff would
Yeah,
have
we'd have Jeff.
sufficed.
Yeah, Jeff would be pretty retro.
We need like an Eric. Eric is not a quarterback name very often. They don't come around like the Eric Kramers and the Eric Hipples.
Yeah.
Eric Crouch.
Eric
won a
Crouch.
Heisman.
Eric Crouch.
Yeah.
He was a quarterback, Gary.
When was he the
Heisman.
quarterback here?
He won the trophy.
20 years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, so you're saying Erics are outdated? Erics are out of style?
We don't see a lot of Erics at quarterback these days.
But yeah, there's more Heinrichs than Erics at this point. Yeah, I don't know if the Big Ten West quarterback landscape is representative of what we're naming our children,
Yeah.
with the exception of Hudson. Every kid is named
Hudson.
Hudson.
Really?
Every kid's named Hudson now. Have you met a child named Hudson?
No.
All my friends named their kids Hudson.
Whoa,
Really?
Did they
No.
land on the Hudson?
No, they just like Hudson. They're like, I like the name Hudson, Easton.
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
that's when
lot
parents
of
are getting-
If they
Hudson's
landed on the
East,
Hudson,
yeah.
don't you have
Hudson.
to name your kid Sully? I just thought that was the thing.
Yeah,
If you were a part of that, your kid's named Sully. Not
I
Hudson.
do like the name Hudson. That is a good, like, your kid has a head start if he's named Hudson.
Baseball player.
He's going to be an athlete or he's going to be like a very successful business person.
Yeah.
You can't be a Hudson and be like on the streets.
But if you specifically
Yeah.
wanted him to play baseball, you'd name him Easton. That's like the other version of Hudson.
Mhm. Seen a lot of
Then-
Eastons in
then-
the last 5 years.
Mike Stick, I mean,
Yep, he named his kid Easton.
Easton.
Mike Stick's a baseball guy,
Mhm.
and he got Easton's
He
playing
didn't-
football.
He probably had some thoughts
We're
about
going
what
Easton,
We're going DeMarini.
Hey, Easton was who was Easton dapping
Stealth.
up last night at the end of the game? Not Dak.
Hopefully not Dak. We should send Dak Prescott to
Was he
jail.
with Mike McCarthy? I think they showed a picture on TV of Easton Stick dapping up.
Oh,
McCarthy.
We
great
should get
friends.
Easton Stick on the show and ask him, hey, what's going on up at North Dakota State?
Yeah, they're struggling.
What's going on?
Mm.
They lost to North Dakota. They got hammered by North
Yeah.
Dakota. It's
Mm.
over.
It's over.
The
It's over.
dynasty.
North Dakota State's done.
No, you can't. You don't have Chris Kleiman anymore.
Cole Payton, come home.
It's all Cole Payton. Come home. Play H back.
Why can't he play as why can't we let quarterbacks from West Side play quarterback, Connor? Is it that hard?
I knew it was going to trigger somebody. No. H back, Gary.
Hey, Steve Warren.
He
your
throws
kid's
with
play-
his left
Steve
hand.
Warren,
Hey,
your kid's
Ron-
playing quarterback at West Side. Wait till they get to college. They're probably going to become defensive linemen.
Have we ever had
Hey,
a
Ron
left-handed?
Kellogg played quarterback.
Has Nebraska ever had a left-handed quarterback?
Yes. Todd Gragnano.
Mike Stunts.
Everybody.
Yeah,
well,
Mike
Mike
Stunts.
Stunts wasn't a quarterback.
He
Whoa.
Mike Stunts threw one pass.
Yeah,
all right?
but he was on the rooster as a quarterback.
Mike Stunts threw one pass. It was a great pass. Great
I
pass.
hope that you
It's a
are
great
never
pass.
in the hospital when Dr. Stunts comes in. They're going to be like, I wasn't a quarterback,
you-
huh?
Are you the guy who said I
well,
wasn't a quarterback?
What
Hey,
was Mike Stunts listed
Hey,
as?
Dr. Stunts,
quarterback.
my elbow hurts. Well, let's take a look at that knee. I think you're going to need
He was
full kneecap
listed at quarterback.
replacement.
Yeah, he was listed. at
Mike
quarterback.
Stunts is listed as a free safety on his last bio on Huskers.com. So you guys
Well,
tell me.
He may have been moved there, but
Maybe
he was
got
a
picked at the end.
quarterback.
Yeah, he was at least for the
I
first
mean,
couple of
put
years.
some respect on Mike Stunts.
I love Mike Stunts.
I mean, the pride of St. Albert.
Yes.
I'm asking if Nebraska had a starting quarterback named or with a left who threw with his left hand.
Todd Gragnano.
Todd
Back in
Gragnano.
the 90s.
Todd Gragnano. All right.
That's about it. That's all. I didn't even know that one, but Mike Stunts was the only name that came to mind.
Doesn't even have a profile on here. Where's 1990?
An incredibly versatile player, Stunts saw time at free safety, split end, and reserve quarterback at Nebraska.
split end, Gary.
Well,
Split. Which is where he was lined up
That's it.
on
That's true.
Black 41 flash reverse.
yes.
And
And it happened
reserve
that he happened to have a quarterback skill to throw a pass.
That's true. That's good. Marlon
Throwing-
Lucky did too.
Throwing
by the way.
on the run.
You know how many
on a
toss
strong hand
passes they
side.
did with Marlon Lucky? Probably 47 in the span of 3 years.
You know how many times they checked down?
They were like, it's time to do trick plays. Let's do Marlon Lucky pass.
Hey, Ed Foley wants to do a fake punt every game.
He does. Also, I have a difficult time believing that Marcus Satterfield wants to throw it deep every time.
Yeah,
Something about me strikes him as
Yeah.
not a guy who
I
wants
think,
to throw it deep
uh,
every time.
I agree.
I think we got on a roll and we just tried
Yeah,
to
we just
stretch
kept
the
going, yeah.
boundaries as far as possible yesterday.
Tony White wants to blitz every down. Marcus Satterfield wants to go for the jugular.
Terrence Knight
Deep
came
ball.
into my office today and he said we should have 11 defensive linemen every play.
They want to run the 46.
Are you kidding me? I got to keep these guys in check.
Ed Foley wants to run a fake.
every
I
game.
just love the idea that he's working with just a bunch of like psychopath assistant coaches, and he has to constantly.
You got to rein them in. Yeah, you gotta, "Oh, God, no, Ed, we're not doing it. I know you're excited. Come on, coaches, one more time. Come on. I'll give you one every 4 games.
It'll work.
EJ Barthel was like, we should run the I formation all the time. What about I run the wishbone?
Yeah.
I need more running backs on the field.
Yeah, can we get 4 on the field at the same time? You ever heard of the diamond formation?
Ron Brown is advocating for Abdul Muhammad to come back as a wingback.
Diamond formation.
Rule's like,
yes.
we'll check with compliance.
It's like, yeah, I got to run that through the boss. The boss is me. No is your answer.
Yeah, he seemed to stretch things yesterday.
I love that. He was in his bag yesterday.
You calling him a liar?
He has very specific things that he needs to get off of his chest, especially coming off of a week of apparently consuming all of the content that people have put out there.
They always say don't read the replies. You know that he went on his TikTok and he read the replies to those videos.
Why is he licking his lips all the time? I don't know.
So can we expect, even when the season is over, a weekly Matt Rhule press conference to get something off his chest? A hastily called press conference?
Hey, I've seen this out there. There's a meme about
It's
me.
the airing of grievances every Monday.
Well, he tweets a lot in the off season.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that is. He has that outlet.
he'll
Now he
hop
doesn't.
back
Yeah,
on
but
Twitter.
so
But those are emojis.
so he did delete it. He deactivated his account.
Yeah, he just deletes his
Yes.
Took
just
it off the phone.
deletes his app.
So who is the person in his office that is keeping him updated?
Oh, he's got burners.
Tiny
Garrett.
baby boy.
Yeah, Gary McGuire.
See, I bet Rhule has a burner.
Oh yeah.
He's got to check up on his players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he just got crazy guy. I mean, next thing you know, Chief Borders is going to be down doing TikTok with the track team. I mean, that's crazy stuff.
he does that a lot.
Yeah.
He does.
He's got reasons.
All right, so we'll go back even. The most famous, my apologies for getting this, the most famous left-handed quarterback is
Dave Hum. Dave Hum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the hum hive
He
is
was lefty.
buzzing right now.
Yeah, the Hum Hive is triggered. We forgot to
I shouldn't be
mention-
triggered. I mean, that was before all of our time.
Yes,
we
it was.
forgot to mention Dave.
But
The Hum Hive.
if you ever had a chance
He was
to
humming it.
interact with him, he was great.
Left-handed
Loved his Raiders and loved his Nebraska.
David Hum. What a great name for a quarterback. That's a Big Ten West quarterback. We need a little bit more of that. Luke Altmaier? No. Be David Hum. Ethan Kaliak-Manis?
Kaliak-Manis.
No. Dave Hum.
All right, where does Chuba Purdy fit on?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Good one.
You could throw a Chubb in there.
Chuba.
Old Chubes.
Or Chubes. Yep.
Like Jeff Sims seems like a normal quarterback name.
Very.
Jeff Sims is a great quarterback
is.
name.
Your first and your last name are the same number of letters.
And syllables. Jeff Sims.
That's why you're the highest paid player on the roster.
Jeff Sims. Heinrich Harburg. It's 2 and 2. All right.
You could make it work.
Would you? Who is the best quarterback in the Big Ten West?
I was asking earlier who the best offense in the Big Ten West is. That's a tough answer. Maybe Wisconsin.
Best quarterback, probably Hudson Card.
Yeah.
Yep.
So does that make Purdue have the best offense?
I put them up there with Wisconsin.
Is it possible that Nebraska actually has an argument here because they're able to, do what they do?
Don't you have to score?
Well, that is important.
Scoring is a very important element of this conversation, I believe.
I don't know. Hudson Card is at 1,617 yards, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. His QBR is 96th in the country.
Okay. Who's the highest rated QBR in the Big Ten West? Scroll,
Hold on
scroll,
here.
scroll, scroll, scroll.
Well, the ESPN site
Ben
does not
Bryant?
do well.
Scroll, scroll, scroll. I wonder what the answer would be. I wonder what it would tell us. Maybe it's Heinrich
I
Harburg.
bet it's still Mordecai.
Tanner Mordecai.
They haven't done anything.
Terrible name, terrible Johnny Depp movie.
Let's see.
Hold
Offense.
on here.
You just
I'm scrolling as we speak.
If you just do passing yards,
So JJ is number 1 in the country.
Big Ten.
Hudson
What-
Card
what?
Hudson Card has the most passing yards in the Big Ten West.
QBR, I'm now to 50. Rocco Becht, whose dad played in the NFL at Iowa State. We're scrolling. Hey, there's the Rutgers quarterback.
Luke Altmaier has the best QB rating in the Big Ten.
The big
West.
Greek from Minnesota is 78th in the country.
Let's go,
Ethan.
Ethan. Let's go.
Kelly
The
McManus.
56.3 on the QBR rating.
With his 6 touchdowns and 6 picks.
JJ McCarthy, 92.6. So there's a little bit of a gap there.
Yeah, Luke Altmaier has been sacked 26 times this year. 26
So do we have like
times.
4 Big Ten East quarterbacks before we get to the first Big Ten West quarterback?
In QB rating, yes. JJ, Kyle McCord, Tulia, and Drew Aller.
Oh, no. Wimsett.
Yeah, what about
Rutgers
Gavin?
is there too.
Gavin Wimsett.
No, he's not. He's way down there in rating. QBR, I think, is different
Wimsett.
than QB rating. One of those specifically made up by like ESPN.
That's okay. It's our own little group. There are 7 fan bases that all can, talk about each other and embrace it.
Luke Altmaier has been sacked 26 times and has thrown 9 interceptions.
Which game will have more points this weekend? Iowa, Minnesota, or Northwestern, Nebraska?
Northwestern Nebraska.
I think so.
I kind of think that as well.
Not confident in that, but
So
yes.
last year, Iowa, Minnesota was 13-10.
Yes.
The total is what, 31.5?
32.5, I believe.
At least Minnesota has the better quarterback in this one. There is that.
There you go.
There's a positive.
What's the
There's a row to
total?
boat.
What's the total for Nebraska Northwestern this weekend? Have we checked on that yet? It is a 41.5.
Whoa,
Monstrous
Compared
number.
to 32 and a half.
Giant number.
32 and a half. Unless that's moved. For Iowa and Minnesota.
So you got some wiggle room there. By the way, Nebraska down to 11.5 point favorites.
So we're thinking about 6 touchdowns in Lincoln on
What do you think?
Saturday.
Nebraska wins by 3, 4
Touchdowns?
points? 6,
Mm,
7?
I think Nebraska covers.
Nebraska covers. Oh, wow. 21-10?
Well, if your total is 41, you got to go a little bit. So I think they're trying to tell you there's going to be maybe 5 to 6 touchdowns.
24-13?
I think you can go a little bit higher. I think 28-13 would be 28-14 would be the kind of game
All right. I don't see it. I don't think Nebraska covers this weekend.
because of the offense or the defense.
Because of many things. But
Where should we start?
because of many things. I don't think the gap is that big. Mostly because of the offense.
Hold on here. Are you going to talk yourself into Northwestern being good?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm just trying to prevent you from
No.
doing bodily harm.
No, I do this with the understanding that Nebraska is not good. While also saying,
And then do you factor in the history of these two
Hey,
teams?
maybe let me ask you this, Mr. Football 101.
okay,
Maybe Nebraska is better than okay. You want to play transitive property?
no, that does not apply.
All right.
That
I was
doesn't-
just checking if you want to go down that road.
That does not apply.
Because last week you said, Gary, I think Maryland's going to play in a New Year's 6 game.
When did I say that?
I think it was Tuesday. I'll go back and check the tape. They lost to the team that Nebraska beat last week.
At home.
Once again, I say that Nebraska is not that good with let me give you an anecdote. I booked the Vegas room this morning.
You did. I watched it.
It's done.
Okay, so I went and I've got Phoenix and Nashville.
Well,
I'm going big on December 30th. We're going to Nashville.
I just like there's a bunch of ways that you could spread your chips around the table
Yeah.
to different locations. I have put all of my chips into Vegas. All of them. Give the man, paid the man his money.
Pay him his money.
But see that, so then we need Nebraska to like stumble a little bit. They can't just go roaring through the rest of the
I
schedule
think 7.
because they
Can't
could
win
play
out, no.
themselves out of Vegas.
7.
Somebody could play themselves into Vegas by being bad.
7.
Hello, Wisconsin.
4 and
Wisconsin was
2.
there recently.
4 and 2 in the last 6 get you to Vegas.
What if it got you to Music City?
That's fine too. I just have to cancel a reservation that I made.
What's their cancellation policy?
I can cancel anytime before December 20th.
Okay.
All right, we'll know by
you'll
then.
know. Then you'll know.
We'll know by then.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
We'll know.
Exactly.
We'll know by, like the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
I'm sure you're not alone. I feel like many more either Nebraska fans or media members have probably done something similar to a couple different
They'd be smart
destinations.
too. They'd be smart,
Especially
too.
if you've got up until December 20th to cancel.
Now, are we building this up too much to where we would be too disappointed if Nebraska were to not make a bowl game?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's okay
would be.
because that's what we do to ourselves.
All right.
It would,
I'm
it
okay,
would- it
I'm
would be
okay.
disappointing because
Hey,
of the
I'm
schedule
ready
they
to
have
take the
left.
pain.
Oh, we are all ready for that. We've been prepared years and years and years for
Except
this.
for that.
Have you heard that Nebraska has been abysmal down the stretch,
Mhm.
according
The
to
last
their head
eight,
coach?
8 to 10
I
years.
Yeah.
I have.
I like how Rhule dropped in there yesterday. We'll talk about this a little bit today. The program is not in good shape. He exclaimed yesterday.
He did.
He said that out.
He did.
Just dropped that right on in there.
He did everything he
This
could.
this program is not in good shape. It's like,
Without-
whoa, it isn't.
He did everything he could without throwing the previous staffs under the bus, yet actually went the opposite way and said he had a lot of respect for them. Then what is it?
Yeah.
Why is it in bad shape?
It's almost like he just says that, and he actually
the-
doesn't have a lot of respect.
It's
for
with
the
all due
previous
respect.
staff.
Okay, with all due respect.
I think there's parts of what the previous staff did that he likes. I think there's a giant part that he doesn't. That's just my read on the situation.
Ghosts of Nebraska football past are getting ready to come out.
No, we're going to Vegas, and then they'll all be gone.
They'll be exercised.
Nebraska football is
No, you
back,
could
and we're
say
here to
That'll
stay.
be an
Got to a
entire
bowl
facility
game,
that's
and
exercised.
this is what we overcame.
Yeah,
That's why I should get a vote for Coach of the Year in the Big Ten.
he should say that. That would be awesome. That'd be fantastic. Because I got my mentions are full of Iowa fans right now. Talk about how they love Matt Rhule. They're like, do I kind of like this guy?
Well,
It's a scary thought.
if you have a rival fan base that actually really likes your coach, sometimes that can be a bad thing. 'cause
Well,
they,
okay,
they
so-
like him
No,
because-
they like him like genuinely.
Yeah.
So
Like we like Brian
like,
Ferentz.
like I don't
No,
want
no,
to
not
like,
that way.
They're saying like I don't want to admit it, but I kind of like the guy. Then you know that's like, oh, okay, that's cool.
what they're
But if it's
saying.
like I don't know about you guys, but I love this
so
guy.
the dynamic with Frost and Kirk and Brian was really odd because when Frost has told this story before, when he was at Oregon, Iowa staff came out to Eugene in the offseason to look at their offense.
Yeah.
And so he
Interesting.
got to know both of them, and he had no inkling at the time that he was going to be, ever ending up at Nebraska.
Now, what do you think they took from the Oregon offense?
Nothing.
Yeah.
A bunch
do,
of
you, do you think they
a bunch
walked
of free Nike gear.
when they,
is what
yeah, when,
not
they
to
walked,
do.
when they walked away, they looked at each other and said, "Not for us."
they walked up there, they opened
So-
up the door, and they were like, "No,
So
thank you."
I will tell you this, and this is
Good trip though.
this story has been validated by a couple of people. So when Frost was hired at Nebraska, that Sunday press conference, they were in the football office in Iowa City and they were watching it
Yeah, I heard about
because when Nebraska hired Frost, Kirk was like, they made a good hire.
this. Mhm.
They made a really good hire, guys. This is they finally got this right.
At what point do you think they were like, actually, they didn't? Was it
Um,
after the first year?
No.
No, 'cause remember that game?
You know where it is because this was told to a recruit and his father. We knew we had Nebraska about 15 minutes into that press conference when he made the comment about the rest of the Big Ten, and they were like, "He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it." And up to that point, they were like, "This is a really good hire."
It lasted up until the
But
press
Frost always had like really good respect for Iowa's program. He probably didn't say it much publicly, but that's good because you know what? Matt Rhule is baiting the Iowa fans in
He is.
to come watch a 9-6 game on Black Friday.
It's great. He's luring them in.
Yes, kill him with kindness.
And if we die, we die.
And you know what? And he's gonna do that, and then he's gonna subtly go in and get the top offensive lineman,
Oh.
and then he's gonna make a bunch of speaking engagements in Iowa in the offseason.
Do you think
Oh.
like what? Do you think eventually,
Big red across
like
Iowa.
in 2 and 3 years, are because he was talking about yesterday? It's like, yeah, eventually we'll go tempo and whatever. Like, do you think that that's true?
Yes,
Okay.
but now you have to figure out, like, is he going to recruit to that?
Yeah.
Because I don't
That's
know
the
what
question.
I don't know what their future idea is with their quarterbacks, either that have committed or on campus. What they want to do,
Yeah. I don't see.
because they're all kind of a little different.
Yeah.
Because there's no way they're running back this type of offense next year. There's just no way.
The quarterback that best fits what they're going to be in the future that's currently on the roster is named Chubba Purdy.
Mhm.
Now, it doesn't mean he's going to be the
version-
quarterback.
a
next year.
version
Yeah,
of
no,
it,
I'm
yeah.
just
no,
saying,
their
yeah,
best
yeah.
path to
Yeah,
victory
version.
this year is the guy that is currently a quarterback.
That is correct.
But
Yep.
you don't know, like Nick and I were talking about this earlier about his comments about the offensive line. You're never going to throw your guys under the bus, okay? And he's always going to go to bat for that particular position group, but he'll let you know everything that you need to know by what he does in the offseason. Like, last year they came close to securing 2 starting offensive linemen who are starting for 2 top 10 teams in Oregon and Oklahoma.
Mhm.
So it's not like they don't have trouble getting those guys engaged. It's just closing the deal. But if he all of a sudden starts chasing portal offensive linemen in the offseason,
Oh yeah.
are we going to think back and go,
Yeah.
oh, I know what you were doing.
Yeah, there's going to be
That
some
day, that Monday before Northwestern, I knew what you were doing.
I would say that there's going to be some opportunity to
Well,
play.
look at what they did yesterday with wide receivers, like junior college guys. They're like, yeah, we got some issues here. Now
Yeah,
that
it's
was
just
already prevalent.
That's a numbers game more than anything.
Yeah.
Well,
They just need more people.
but they moved a couple of guys, which
Mhm.
was surprising because they're part of the track team. They took the
Mhm.
baton with them.
Mhm.
But I think is like they've made it through the first part of the year. They've diagnosed their roster. Now, if they start making movement, they don't have a lot of room in their recruiting class unless they have some defections here shortly. But watch who they're offering to go, okay, that's how they feel about their wide receiver room because they want to add depth or they got to go find that dude.
How many of those guys on the offensive line can come back next year?
Nearly all of them, except
Yeah.
for one.
Except for Ben Scott,
No, Scott can
No,
come
Scott
back.
can Nwili.
Nwili.
except for Newili.
Yeah, they all can come back.
Do you think
They'll never leave.
What do you think-
Connor? The offensive lineman will never leave.
It's one of those things where you go, the good news
They're-
is we got everybody back. The bad news is we got everybody back.
Somehow, some way, they found another COVID year. They're
How's it
just never
possible?
going to leave.
Well, I think there's going to be a conversation after the season. with those
Well,
guys.
there has to be.
Yeah.
But the fact is that none of them can leave.
There was the COVID
Oh,
year.
they
Then
can
got,
leave.
then they got
Well,
like the
yeah,
Delta
They
strain
can
year.
leave. They can be told to leave.
But that's like the second half of the season. I keep saying this. Nebraska needs a good old blowout. They need like a game where it's over by the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And so that you don't have to blow guys' red shirts, but a Sledge and a Gatula can
Yeah,
start to
Knutson.
play and
Yep.
get game action when the scoreboard is on and it's not the spring.
The problem, like all those guys, they've been here for so long and they've been playing. There's just this giant gap behind them now, and it turns out that group isn't obviously that good, and so the huge gap behind them is even now more problematic as you turn the page going forward, because there's nobody who's like a junior or who's been here for 2 and 3 years who's ready to come in and play right away.
Well, and that's
You
why
just have
I
to
say
ride with those
Gary's
guys.
point's an important one there too, because then you at least get some of these guys to experience it. Even if it's not in the most high leverage situation in the game, they're at least getting out there. You're seeing what they're
It'd
doing
be great.
in live reps. But again, that's asking this offense to put
Now,
yourself
they
in a
have-
position to where you can be in a very comfortable moment.
They have addressed that they need bodies. So, like the last couple of recruiting classes, they've gone heavy on offensive linemen, but they need bigger humans.
They need
and
bodies.
They need more of them.
They need bodies and starters.
Well,
like-
they need some guys that can. If you have to pay in the portal, Matt Rhule needs to realize that if you want offensive linemen that are difference makers right when they walk in the door, you got to pay to play. And he is really shy on that when it gets to nut cutting time. And that's not an 1890 problem. The head football coach tells 1890 what to do. I mean, 1890 is not out recruiting Walter Rouse, going, "Hey, Walter," and then getting back to Rhule. "Hey, this is what we offered him," and Rhule goes, "What?"
Yeah.
I mean, it starts at the top.
Mhm.
So I just think if you want to play that game,
Yeah,
because
it's tell us who you want.
they can
we'll go get 'em.
attract, but can they close? Because Cornelius at Oregon and Rouse at Oklahoma are starting. They would be starting at Nebraska.
That is correct. That is correct. Can confirm if they're starting. At
I
those
love
places.
that there was just on MLB Network a Willie Mays Aikens
Willie
reference.
Aikens. Yeah, I saw that at the bottom. I'm like, hell yeah. Love seeing that KC logo up there. 1980 Willie Aikens.
You'll be fine. You'll be in that situation. You are the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I am. That sounds
Yeah.
great.
Lost 100+ games. You got young talent. You play defense and you run the bases. Sometimes not so well.
Oh, you think ALCS in 2 years?
Would you be disappointed? Like, look at the Orioles they lost 100+ games a couple years ago.
Uh-huh.
The Rangers, the Diamondbacks, you have lost a lot of baseball.
Plenty.
Would you be disappointed, like in a couple of years, that you're not in the postseason? Couple years.
I don't know that I've even set a map for when they
You don't have a
might.
timetable?
Yeah, because I thought they were going to be a whole hell of a lot better this year than they were. And I thought that this year would be sort of a stepping stone. So I don't know. I mean, you're going to have to be disappointed at some point. if
I
they
think
don't
in,
get to
I
the
think in
playoffs.
2 years you'll have postseason baseball at the Royals.
Oh my God! And then, well, that would assume that they would have signed Bobby Witt Jr. long term,
Yes.
and then they'll open up their beautiful new stadium and they'll win the World Series in it in
Oh.
2027.
All
Great,
right.
awesome! Thank you, Gary. I
Wow.
appreciate that.
I just had him get in the postseason. Now you've already got him.
They're winning the World Series in the new ballpark.
Give him a little bit of hope.
Joel writes in,
Hi, Joel.
the year is 2030. Turner Corcoran is starting his 70th game at Nebraska. Teddy Prohaska has titanium knees and is finally ready to turn the corner.
These guys won't go away.
They're going to want to stick around and be a coach, too.
I mean, they got like multiple degrees.
Yep.
They've got like 2-time master's degree recipients.
The year is 2030.
Dr. Corcoran.
No, I keep bringing up. Look at the participation chart against Michigan in 2021.
It's the
Outside
same
of
guys.
Cam Jurgens and Matt Sichterman,
Yeah,
it's the same guys.
it
It's
is.
the same guys.
It's true.
I mean,
There was a pipe dream once upon a time that Turner Corcoran could move over to guard at some
Mhm.
point.
Yeah.
And there's still, like, there's always going to be a little bit of hope there. It's like, well, if you could find a tackle, maybe you can move him into guard, and then that becomes good. And then the tackle's good too. And then all of a sudden your entire offensive line's fixed. Well, we'll see if they can get the guys.
that's on the list of things that Matt Rhule hates to address.
Turner
Because
Corcoran.
Turner Corcoran.
Because
Yeah.
since he's been here,
That's-
he does nothing else.
Well,
Like,
And
even in the
he said
spring.
that. He's even said that.
I mean,
Turner
there's
Corcoran was his tackle.
definitely
He's
like
only
an,
known him as his tackle.
yeah, because people keep asking about Teddy, and there's obviously like an unspoken thing with Teddy, like he's not ready. Can't
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not- it's
yeah.
not gonna
Matt Rhule
happen.
doesn't want to come right out and say that.
correct.
Let's say, yeah, he's coming along.
Yeah.
We're getting him to come along.
Teddy's got a role, I believe, was the statement one day.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah, he's got
okay.
a role, and
Yeah.
right now that role's probably about the same as it was
Just
a week
say,
ago.
Being
The
the
next time-
being the next
The
tackle
next time he
when
is
they go
asked
jumbo.
about Teddy Prohaska or Anthony Grant, just look at his body language.
Yeah.
How it
there's-
changes.
There's a little more animation, maybe a little bit more getting fidgety. For a guy who can answer any question, including a prayer service post 9/11, he can answer it just
He
like
could
that.
do that.
But
Well-
you ask him about those two, and he gets a little bit out of his
then,
comfort zone.
And then of all like the players that he gets fired up about,
Tommy
Like-
Hill.
like excited.
oh yeah,
Tommy Hill is one of those guys
Tommy Hill gets
that
me.
I think our excitement level for Tommy Hill compared to his is about as large as the gap is between East and West in the Big Ten.
I can't figure it out.
He
But
loves
him some
Tommy Hill, and he loves talking about his conversations with Ty Robinson. Loves talking about. Ty was just in the office. We were just talking. In fact, before I talked to you guys, Ty and I were just shooting the breeze.
We were chilling.
Yeah, Luke Reimer and I, we were talking. We were having a conversation. A good convo. A good little chin wagging. You guys know him, right? Okay, yeah. He's great. He gets it.
He still plays.
And have I told you guys about Tommy Hill? That guy is everything we want.
He loves Tommy Hill.
Hey, so the whole GB Rewind stuff that's being released, and you've gotten to see Rhule, you got to see a couple players' speeches. He's been referenced. Will they turn the camera on and release it to the masses? A Corey Campbell pregame speech, the strength and conditioning coach.
That's a true
When he led them out of the tunnel,
right.
against La
That's what I'm
Tech.
talking about. That's a Big Ten strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah.
You know, I flash back to the Northwestern huge buff guy, and he's just like energy all the time. That's Corey Campbell.
But like they referenced what Corey told you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear what Corey
Yeah.
told him.
There's also a lot of.
Is he the hype man before Rhule comes in?
Well, I think Grant
He like
Taggy-
lathers
I
up the
bet-
team.
yeah, I
it
bet
sounds
you- I
like
bet he
Grant
is.
Taggy gives a pretty good
Yeah.
speech too. So that's good. They love Grant Taggy.
I like Gifford's was good. I liked Gifford got before
He
the
says
Northern.
a lot of naughty words.
Yeah, before the Northern Illinois game, he was pissed that they decided to show up and actually play at Memorial Stadium, and he took that personally.
He did.
And I like
They
that.
think they belong in the
Yeah.
same field.
Yeah.
with us?
That pisses me off.
Why didn't they stop at Seacrest?
What's wrong with
He
them?
wasn't happy that they made their way to Memorial Stadium.
Do they not know they're not supposed to come in here? It's supposed to be us against us.
I like the GB rewinds.
Yeah.
They're nice.
Hey, I mean, look at how many parades we've had in Lincoln because of the social media team around Nebraska football. They win national championships
yeah.
every year.
Oh, they're at the very least they're winning at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Elite.
They are elite.
You know who their boss is? Matt Rhule.
True.
Matt Rhule is the head coach / social media coordinator
Mhm.
/ offensive coordinator /defensive
Hey,
coordinator.
Hey guys, when we do the pregame stuff for Northwestern, can
Yeah.
you not shoot me from down there?
Yeah.
Like, can I have a straight on look? I mean, I got the double chin when you're looking up at me.
/recruiting coordinator. Just everything. He is everything. I don't know where the guy finds the time. He goes yesterday. This is all I do. So, this is all I do. I go to the volleyball game sometimes with my daughter, but that aside from that, this is all I do.
Yep.
I like that we have a psychopath.
If they make a bowl game, though, his daughters are going to see Taylor Swift.
Maybe.
Yeah. He didn't want to go that. He didn't want to go that far into it. Though.
I'll buy a couple of the movie tickets for you. How's that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, have you been to the movie?
Maybe that's what
Not
he was
yet.
talking about. The movie.
Yeah, I've heard it's turned into just basically the concert.
Right.
Yeah.
People start partying.
Yeah. So,
And people are upset. Like, what?
do you think
What
I
did
should?
you expect? It's not a movie. You're not just going to sit there and watch the
It's
movie.
$5 day. Usually, when I go in the afternoons, I can be one of the youngest people in the audience. Do you think that there will be a lot of people at the Taylor Swift show,
Yes.
even at like 2 p.m?
Yeah, because I work off the assumption that nobody goes to school anymore ever.
No, but I think the olds are probably going to be like, I want to see what this is all about.
Oh, you know what?
You know, I'll let you know because we are actually going to the theater this afternoon, day after the son's birthday. We're going to see the new Paw Patrol movie at 4.
Paw
It's
Patrol
very
movie.
good.
Is it good?
It's
Okay.
very good.
Yeah, we're going to go see that.
Taylor Swift movie only playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, there's a
good.
reason
That
because you can't
explains
get the
better.
cheap seats.
That
Even
explains it.
better. Hey, no $5 movie. No $5 experience.
Go ahead, Josh. Say what you have to say. You know, you're
What?
gonna say
They're
something.
still not dating.
Oh, they
Oh,
very
No, they're not.
much are
He's
dating.
protecting her.
Interesting take by Gary.
They were making out in the car, man. They were making out.
How'd you see that?
I
Oh, because
didn't-
they wanted you to see it. That's right.
No, I didn't see any of it. All I saw was her lipstick on his face.
Whoa, that could
Yeah.
have been anyone's lipstick.
Could have been.
I think he's just protecting
Could
her.
have been planted.
Look at like when they came out of the Saturday Night Live studio.
Separately.
Yeah.
Holding hands.
Yeah, but they walked and there was like a barrier there
Yeah.
by the street, and instead of like going on either side, he protected her.
Yep.
He shifted over. That's called protection.
Well, that's a gentleman, though.
He
That-
opened the
that's
door for
chivalry.
her.
Yeah, and he was like her security guard.
Yeah,
There's
chivalrous.
that weird report where he actually told her security guards, no, I've got this. It's fine.
I love that. That's
Yeah,
a man.
That's probably he doesn't get that part.
Yeah.
But it's
Like,
just so like
you
a
could say all
like
that-
a world.
what do you
that-
think the security guard said? He was
Yeah,
like,
like-
okay, go.
Like it's a world that none of
Yeah,
us.
Travis, we'll
Like,
be a few
look,
paces
You
behind.
got it,
goes-
TK.
He goes to the Jets Eagles game and he can hang with his buddies and drink beer, and then he wants to go visit her, and all of a sudden he has to like call ahead so they can set up security.
Yeah.
And then once he leaves and he goes, I'm going down to Philadelphia to hang out in a suite with my brother and watch the Phillies game last night. They're like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can live his own life.
I mean, that whole world, none of us will ever experience that. That is a wild.
No, there's
world.
only like 5 people ever who have experienced that. It's amazing. So there was a theory that there was a seat in between Travis and Jason last night that was reserved, maybe.
Oh.
That she may have been there
It wasn't
I
for
think she would've
Mrs.
ruined the
Kelsey.
moment.
For noted Eagles fan, Taylor Swift.
for noted
Mhm.
Philadelphia
Well,
Phillies
okay,
fan
so-
and baseball fan Taylor Swift.
The sleuths of page 6. So the 2 vehicles that picked her up at the Kansas City airport to take her to the game on Thursday night. How would it like to be those security guards? Those 2 cars Thursday night into Friday morning were outside of Travis's house.
Mm.
You just have to sit in the car while they're doing whatever.
Well, you don't have to think about it. You
Like-
just listen to the sports talk radio or something like that.
Like, could you just leave? Like, why couldn't you just leave her there?
No, you can't leave.
No.
Because then people, you know, you
If
gotta
something goes south, then you've left America's princess high and dry.
I think you do it like the guy in Die Hard where he's just sitting in the parking garage.
Argyle?
He's,
Yeah, Argyle?
He's
Hell
just
yeah.
listening to the radio. He turns the radio up.
Yep. It's like, wait a minute, something's going on.
Make a couple calls.
Yeah.
Turn the radio down. Turn it back up.
Yeah. This is Christmas music. Yeah.
Do the perks outweigh the cons of being a bodyguard for a celebrity?
Well, I would think the cons are pretty high, right? The cons are
The con is death, right?
could
Well, yeah,
get
the worst
shot.
case scenario is that.
Yeah.
Does
Is
anybody have to
life
well, I
ending.
guess people do kind of come onto her property in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
People are crazy.
John Lennon was assassinated.
Yeah. People are
People,
Well,
crazy.
I know
people
that.
forget that, Josh. Thank you.
We've not had a.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, we just haven't. I don't think
We were all
What do you want more?
One is too many.
You sicko?
One is too many.
We were all thinking it.
You're right. We haven't. It's been a while, I guess.
Like, I don't know. I mean, would you want to be like? You ever see all the Morgan Wallen stuff on TikTok? Is his walkout?
Yeah, he loves to walk out.
Yeah, to the little Dirk song. But it's the same guys. I'm sure they're buddies from his childhood that are his bodyguards that are all walking with him.
He can live a normal life. He doesn't date Taylor Swift.
I don't think Morgan Wallen can.
He's dating Will Levis's girlfriend.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Did he meet her on Broadway?
I don't know where he met her, but he stole her.
Well, that's nice of Will to share. Good for him. They must be tight.
Hey, Will Levis goes up to his friend. I don't know if you heard Morgan Wallen's dating my girlfriend.
But like, so I was thinking about
She
this
must be a
as I've followed this. And I wanted the buzz to be killed after Thursday. I thought Al Michaels has done a good job. And then they both separately show up on Saturday Night Live. Is like the sports stardom compared to pop culture stardom is so night and day. Like you could probably go and like Mahomes on the field and in the facility has the one tall guy that's always wearing a Chiefs hat and has got glasses as his protector. And then they have one of the guys from their media relations department that is always around him. But I think when he goes out, he's by himself.
He probably can.
So, but that's different. But you would think the face of the NFL should have security. Like Travis Kelce lives in $1 million home in Kansas City that is not gated. It's in a regular neighborhood.
Sports
So
fans,
he just comes and goes. He like goes to, Price Chopper by himself. But like sports
gets a
stardom
meat deal.
is so different compared to like pop culture.
Sports fans
They're the
are,
curbside pickup, honey.
as we know, sports fans are very sane. Very
Well,
now listen.
Yeah.
Compared
Yes.
compared to pop star fans.
Yes.
Have you seen the pop star
To
fans?
pop star fans who literally hear one
Yeah.
song and they're an emotional wreck because it's the most amazing like out of body experience of watching.
Correct.
Like, yeah.
Okay,
and
the
they're
emotional
losing it.
part.
So
If
No,
I
you're
saw
right,
Travis
you're right.
Kelce at Fairway, I would not have an emotional reaction.
Yeah,
to
you
it.
wouldn't be like, okay, I get you. You're right.
But
And I think a lot of sports fans are level-headed enough to at least, even if they don't leave them alone, it's usually like a, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Travis? Can I get an autograph or something like that? It's not like,
Exactly.
Like it's not Charger fan from last
I'm
night.
surprised that people haven't had like heart attacks and died.
Yeah.
Like I just
seen a
saw
lot
her.
of like camera shots at Taylor Swift's concert, and the amount of girls just bawling, not like emotional, but like bawling during a song.
bunch of weirdos.
That's different to me.
bunch of weirdos.
I
That
was
doesn't
there
happen with
once.
sports.
I don't know. I don't call them weirdos. That's
Well.
a special like group. But she does have like in her concert when she would come out of the stage, like for the first time, and even if like by the time I saw her in Kansas,
Spoilers for the Eras
Well-
Tour movie, by the way.
but I mean, by the
Earmuffs.
time I'd seen her in Kansas City, her whole concert had been put out on like TikTok,
Mhm.
and so you knew when the dancers come out and they cover up a portion of the stage,
They know
that
what's
she's
going to
gonna
happen.
But still, people, the reaction,
Yeah.
they were
When it
like,
actually
"You're right."
happens.
They were like little girls around me were like in tears because there was Taylor Swift 75 yards away.
At
Mhm.
least.
I don't know, like
In all of her
okay,
glory.
so let's say you're walking in downtown Omaha today.
That's like.
Are you getting a
5
bigger
football
reaction out of seeing
fields.
Michael Jordan or Tom Cruise?
Me personally,
I think I Michael Jordan for me,
Jordan.
Okay.
but I think for your average person,
I don't think I'd be
even
emotional.
one that would recognize Michael Jordan as him would also probably be more impacted by Tom Cruise.
The average person would go, that can't be Tom Cruise. He's very, very short.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tom.
that's true.
Tom
Ah,
Cruise
that's
wouldn't
true.
do
I
it. For
thought
me.
he'd be bigger.
Let me give you one.
Okay.
Patrick, you're at Hy-Vee. Here comes Patrick Mahomes. Where's the ketchup? And also walking in the grocery store is Billy Joel. What happens?
Now Billy Joel isn't super recognizable.
Yeah.
Oh yes, he is. He's Billy
No, because
Joel.
he's always out with a hat. Like Billy Joel wearing a hat is
Okay,
not.
so even
If-
better.
If Billy
Even
Joel
better.
looked like
Billy
he,
Joel trying
he
to
looked-
hide from you.
Yeah.
Billy,
but
Billy
you knew it was him.
I
could
would
say
know
it.
it was him because he had a handle of vodka in his
Okay, now let's go.
Where's Christy Brinkley?
Let's do Ben Affleck.
Okay.
So he's not going to hide.
Yeah.
I'd be amazed.
He's going to look really pissed off.
I'd be like, holy hell, it's Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Affleck might do it because
I would too. I
think he
immediately
might
be like,
talk to me.
I would immediately say, whose car are we taking? I would have to.
It's probably the actor. Like if you ever go to Los Angeles and you do happen to bump into an actor or actress
Pretty
that is
wild.
recognizable, there is something like you go, whoa.
Yeah. I
And like we always see, because we have more, it seems like we have, even though we don't, we have more access to our professional
Yes.
athletes. Like we feel like
We
we
do.
know Giannis.
we talk
Like
about it on a
if
daily
Giannis
basis.
was at
we
our
cover it.
Chick-fil-A, like he
Yeah.
goes to in Milwaukee, we'd be
Yeah.
like, hey, there's Giannis.
He's
Yep.
9 feet tall.
Yeah.
But you'd be like, oh, it's Giannis. It's just Giannis.
and he'd be like, "Hey, get the 50 piece." Like they don't let me have that. That's a you thing.
But if
it's
I saw
just-
like Leonardo DiCaprio at the Milwaukee Chick-fil-A, I'd
Yeah,
be like, oh man, hell
I would.
yeah.
Oh, look,
you-
he's with his daughter out at Chick-fil-A. No, that's his girlfriend.
his girlfriend.
son.
Do you want anything,
she's,
Leo?
she's about to age out too at 23.
I'd be happy to buy your meal. You like a spicy chicken
Yeah,
sandwich?
Leo. I
Do you want
would
the new
say I
pimento
would be.
cheese?
I would be in awe of Leo.
It's just the whole like the movie star and music like stars compared to the sports guy. The sports guy or gal could just walk into
Mhm.
most play, not everybody, but like LeBron can't walk into Target on 72nd and Dodge.
No, LeBron is a different one. LeBron,
Yeah, like there's
LeBron's-
certain ones.
Yeah.
But you don't think like
Tiger.
Bryce Harper probably doesn't have security.
No, he's a pretty normal guy. He listens to sports radio.
Does Tiger still have security?
Tiger probably does.
I think he. I would assume he probably
Did you
does.
see Tiger over the weekend?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah. Tiger is so
wearing
back.
wearing his
Yeah.
basketball shorts. He had his
Yeah.
what was it, Call of Duty
When
shirt
ca-
on.
when
yeah,
Tiger,
Call of Duty hoodie and a camo Raiders hat.
Yeah,
when
backwards
Tiger
just-
puts on his backwards hat,
Yeah.
I do feel feelings. You know, I'm like, oh yes.
But his face, like, he's
Yeah.
aging.
Okay, so
He's
I
definitely
know you guys
aging.
got to get on, but this is a
We
good one
do.
from Adam. He said Tiger is the only current athlete that elicits a movie star, pop star response in public, in his opinion.
Oh, LeBron would do it. LeBron would really do it. I think LeBron transcends sports.
Tiger has a presence.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
Tiger's a little bit bigger than you would think,
Mhm.
like in person. Yeah, I don't know. I would stop.
I would.
I mean, you'd be like, okay, what's my next move here? Do I
Yeah.
say something?
How do I play this?
I don't think I'd
Yeah.
approach him. I think I just
Hey, it's Tiger.
I just look at him and I tell people I saw him.
Yep.
And that's it.
Like
I
you-
laid
I'd
eyes
probably
on him.
I'd probably tweet it.
I definitely tweet.
you wouldn't break into, hey, I got this thing wrong in my golf game.
Yeah.
He'd probably love that.
I'm
Just
having-
random guy in Omaha he runs to, and
I'm having some
instead
putting
of like,
issues.
hey, can I have a selfie or an autograph? He's all of a sudden like, hey, I got my swing here.
Hey,
I'm having-
what club you hitting from 165 out? Because
Yeah.
I'm having trouble from that
Yeah.
distance.
What would you recommend for me?
I'm hitting it
Just
in the
look at
lake
me.
every time. Is there any way I can get it on the green?
Now you know who elicits, and I think he still does, even though he's everywhere. T.O. still elicits a response when he walks in. Someone you see T.O.
Locally,
definitely.
yeah, you're like, okay,
Mhm.
that guy is. I remember when I was first
There's an aura.
Looks
started
great.
covering Nebraska football. Like he'd walk into the press conference and you'd be like, okay, because one, I didn't realize he was that tall,
Hmm.
and you'd be like, damn, that's T.O.
He's not 100 years old.
Nope.
No,
Famously.
even though some people try and push that on you that he's been to every game in Memorial Stadium.
Mhm.
He's only missed 10 years.
Since the war.
He's only missed 20 years of games at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do an interview with you, but don't bring up the 23 season because that's a little cloudy.
Yeah. Anything after 27, I'm good. All right, boys. See you later.
Bye-bye.
That is the crossover powered by Every Level Concrete Repair in Omaha at everylevelconcrete.com. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
You know what snap count is? It's just like so wild. Like, you know what to listen for. You have one job.
Guys are so anxious that a syllable can make you jump because I know if I get that half-second start on the guy ahead of me, that's easier for me to either keep him from hitting my quarterback or get to the next guy so that my running back's got a bigger hole.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
After another cool start this morning, mostly sunny and very pleasant this afternoon with the high in Omaha of 71. Southerly winds a tad breezy at times, up to 15 miles an hour. Tonight, increase in clouds and not as cold. Breezy with a low of 52. Southerly wind gusts possible up to 20 miles an hour. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Vallis Pumpkin Patch and Apple Orchard has something fun for all ages. Come take a ride on the antique cars, where the kids are the drivers. Visit our foam ball play area called the Egg Scramble. Stop by the cider mill area where you can have a drink of refreshing apple cider and taste some deliciously good barbecue at Ethan's Applewood Smokehouse. Vallis has more than 50 other attractions included with admission, along with fireworks every Friday night at 9. Vallis, the place to visit this fall.
If you love food, love fun, love fall, to a Vallis Pumpkin Patch, best of all.
It's Halloween at Genesis Health Clubs. Join with no enrollment fee, no contract, and save 31% per month every month. It may be the spookiest time of the year, but starting a new fitness routine doesn't have to be scary. Genesis Health Clubs has top-of-the-line equipment and the absolute best personal trainers, tennis professionals, and group fitness instructors to help keep you motivated and headed towards your fitness goals. Plus, relax in luxury afterwards with saunas, steam rooms, and fluffy towel service. Whatever your fitness needs, Genesis is here to help every step of the way, and there's nothing scary about that. This Halloween, join Genesis Health Clubs with no enrollment fee, no contract, and save 31% per month every single month. But hurry, this offer will end before you have a chance to count your Halloween candy. It ends on Halloween and won't extend. Come to Genesis and get in the best shape of your life so you can handle anything those zombies, werewolves, and vampires throw at you. Plus, get your New Year's resolutions checked off with time to spare. Join Genesis Health Clubs with no enrollment fee, no contract, and save 31% per month every single month.
The brand new Dollar General Distribution Center in Blair is now hiring. Starting wage is up to $22 per hour with benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Again, apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Dollar General can't wait to have you become a team member at their brand new distribution center.
Sausage is king at Bailey's Breakfast. It's Sausage Fest 2023 with everything sausage. It's a celebration of all the amazing flavors of house-made sausages. Bring your appetite and get to Sausage Fest at Bailey's Breakfast, just south of 120th and Pacific.
It's time for the fall haul at Northern Tool and Equipment. Get your hands on tough tools at prices that are tough to ignore. Got plans? Cancel them. Trucks in the shop? Borrow someone else's. Don't like saving money? Right. So head to the fall haul at Northern Tool. Back up the truck for the season's biggest event and save on generators, power tools, trailers, and more. Shop in store or at northerntool.com. We're made for this.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone. It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. It is the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer and Josh Odson with you. We have a regular Tuesday show with a few changes, I suppose. No AB today. People, I know what you're thinking. It's like no AB today. And Louis Vicaire, our Wildcat Report, will join us at 1 o'clock. We will talk Northwestern. We got him, Josh.
That's right.
We were I'm going to guess that we were the first to reach out for this Northwestern week because Nebraska has played Northwestern. Has Nebraska played Northwestern every single year as members of the Big Ten? I'm pretty sure that
feels like it.
I think that is the case. They might be the one. They've played every single year. Well, the exception of Iowa. Gosh, now I'm trying to think. Maybe they didn't play Wisconsin in 2013. I think that's it. I think Northwestern. Anyway, so been in the Big Ten for a while, and there's not very many people who cover Northwestern football.
In fact, there's one.
Who does it on a full-time basis, and that's Louis. So he goes on every Nebraska radio show this week, but Josh was very proactive, as a good producer does, reached out early and booked them early. And so we're going to let him get on with this week just with one radio show out of the way. I assume he'll be making multiple appearances on this very radio station this week.
Absolutely.
Maybe 3.
Remember, you heard him here first.
Maybe 4. Who knows? Maybe Jimmy will have him on too. All right. So that is the lineup powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Just Louis today. NFL reaction overreaction will come to you in this very hour. We'll react to the week in the NFL. There was a football game last night. I'd like to curse Dak Prescott. Whoa. You're cursed. Dak.
Wow.
If you would have thrown a normal good pass to Tony Pollard in the corner of the end zone last night, I win my fantasy game.
There it is.
I win my fantasy game.
Like, what the hell are we cursing Dak Prescott for?
Dak should go to jail. Horrible mistake
And
by him.
Say hi to Scott Frost when you're there.
I'm sending all these people to jail. Make a normal throw, and I win my fantasy matchup, and I'm 5-1 on the year. Instead, I lose by 0.04, and this concludes your worst segment of the week.
I didn't bet this weekend because Iowa Western was idle.
Nice. So you just didn't make a trip over there?
Yeah, I wasn't over there.
There you go. Makes a lot of sense. I just had fantasy football, and it was a little bit of pain last night, but that's okay. Just Dak Prescott has to pay for the consequences. He has to suffer at this point. So I say we send him to jail. Who's with me?
I actually heard an interview with him with Scott Van Pelt after the game, and he said, "I'm sorry, Connor. I know I did you dirty, but
he apologized.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Reduce sentence.
Good behavior.
Yes. Reduce sentence. The judges like that one a little bit. He can get out after a few months, but he's going to do some time. No doubt about that. All right. So that is the lineup. If you want to get in touch with the show, love it if you did so. 402-951-1620 on the 42 Degrees The Source hotline. You can call or text that number. Twitter at Happer Show, at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Email Connor at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank inbox. Elsewhere, also we say good morning to our YouTube audience. Sorry, we forgot to shout them out already. Dion, that's right. Frost is still in prison. Yep, until further notice.
Prove us wrong.
Hasn't got out on good behavior yet. Not in my book, anyway. So I've got a couple things that are coming at you today. I would like to take a look at the various bowl projections and see where they almost unanimously folks have Nebraska headed to a bowl game. And in fact, some people are starting to make Nebraska climb up the bowl rankings.
These are not the Mike Schaefers and the Sam McEwens and the Steve Sipples of the world. These are unbiased college football scribes.
Unbiased college football scribes think that Nebraska is going to, just by the way that they have them put in the bowl game sort of rundown, they think that Nebraska is going to be right there to the end in the Big Ten West and could be a top, 4 or 5 representative in the conference, which is amazing to think of right now. But as you may have heard, they do have a little bit of a light schedule in front of them, and there is some opportunity there. But don't tell Matt Rhule that. We'll hear.
Want to know?
We'll check the projections, and we'll hear from Matt yesterday. There was a lot of interesting stuff in there, including we'll focus on the line that he dropped in there randomly. This program is not in good shape. A couple baseball games last night. Yes, we continue to let the Phillies get hot. We did not heed Josh's advice. We let the Phillies get hot. They go up 1-0 in the 1-0 in the NLCS. And the Rangers have still not blown it with their bullpen yet. They're holding on. Like a little tooth that's just hanging on by a thread. It's a 2-0 lead in the ALCS. All they got to win is 2 out of 5 games and get them to the World Series.
Yeah, would they score 4 in the first yesterday, and 1-5-4,
and then just hang on? Their bullpen, like for a playoff team, for a team that's this deep into the playoffs and that has a 2-0 lead in the championship series, they have like a historically bad bullpen. There can't be that many examples of teams who have just sort of done enough to get to this point. Meanwhile, they've won all of their postseason games.
They picked up
It's
the phone,
unbelievable.
called the Kansas City Royals and said,
Kind of.
"Hi, it's 2023. We need Aroldis Chapman on this team."
That's right. And he put him in a little trouble last night. He got the job done mostly the other night or on Sunday night. Got a little help from Jose Altuve on the double play, but they're always, the Astros are always going to be in this series because of what the Rangers bullpen has done so far to this point this year, and they're just piecing it together. But the rest helps them out, right? Like, so
poisoning Yordan Alvarez's food seems to have helped.
I do feel like he still is a freak. Did you see him pull that slider out of the yard yesterday?
I did not.
What is first of all, he's like the most imposing figure in baseball.
Yeah.
Like, we've already discussed this. He's the most intimidating guy that there is, just standing at the plate. You just always feel like he's going to do damage and the exit velocity is going to be high. And I guess it was Chapman, right? Threw him a pretty good slider, and he just kind of poked it out there and it went over the wall. It's like, oh, okay. It's the Yordan Alvarez flu game. He hit 2 home runs yesterday. Awesome. But it wasn't enough for the Astros. Can the Astros win 4 out of the next 5 games to get themselves back to the World Series? I wouldn't put it past them, by the way. I don't think this lead is safe.
He
But
had
what
a
do I know?
massive headache, could not hold down any food, and hadn't slept in about a day and a half.
Mm-hmm.
2 home runs.
Yep. He's dangerous. He's very dangerous.
He ate the pizza.
So yes, the baseball is still going on, even though our championship series, it maybe have lost some juice considering who's in it. We'll hear from Matt Rhule from yesterday. I will jump back to something that we didn't dive into fully yesterday. The Colorado conversation, the Buffaloes conversation. Dive into that. And anything else that may pop up during the show today. I think the coordinators are supposed to, or maybe that's Wednesday. Maybe there's some availability today. Either way, we'll keep an eye on anything that comes our way during the program today.
Believe it is wrestling. And I lost
volleyball.
Volleyball today.
It's got to be a volleyball press conference. Maybe coordinators are tomorrow then.
Volleyball and wrestling today.
Volleyball and wrestling.
People forget about Husker wrestling and how great it is.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you for mentioning that. Also, it's almost basketball season. The KenPom ratings came out over the weekend, which doesn't tell you everything. You know, it's just a preseason ranking. And preseason rankings are coming out all across college basketball right now. So maybe we'll dive into those a little bit and take a look at some of our local teams. We are off and running on a Tuesday. We'll come back. We'll hear from Matt Rhule yesterday, who had some things once again to get off of his chest. Do that next on 1620 The Zone. But first, snap into NFL action this season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Guaranteed, guys. And all you have to do is place a $5 bet, $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So if you're looking at the college slate this weekend, if you're looking at the NFL slate this weekend, you're like, man, I like some stuff there. How about $200 in bonus bets guaranteed? And all you have to do is place a $5 bet if you're a new customer. There's plenty of options there for you as well. I love the anytime touchdown scores. It's what I personally use. How about a first-time touchdown score if you want to go for some big odds? But there's also the regular stuff, spreads and overs and unders, anything in between. FanDuel.com/Happer for new users. Kick off the NFL season the right way with FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. 21 and over, present in Iowa. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is not withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. From Las Vegas, it's week 5 of the NFL season, ending with the matchup of 2 proud franchises looking for a spark. It's the 1-3 Raiders hosting Jordan Love and the 2-2 Green Bay Packers. Join me and Mike Golick from Las Vegas for all the action of the Packers and the Raiders on Monday Night Football.
If it's the NFL, it's on 1620 The Zone.
Join us for the Hoodies for Hope clothing drive in support of the Salvation Army Omaha Winter Night Watch program. From now through October 25th, we're looking for donations of hoodie, sweatshirts, or other winter clothing items that we'll hand out this coming winter season to those experiencing homelessness. You can drop off new, unworn sweatshirts and other winter items at 2 convenient locations in town or donate online. Just go to salarmyomaha.org for all the details. That's salarmyomaha.org. Thank you for your support of the Hoodies for Hope clothing drive.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
PACE, Police Athletics for Community Engagement Organization, is dedicated to preventing at-risk and disadvantaged inner-city children from becoming involved in street gangs, crime, drug use, and victimization.
Flag football for ages 8 to 14 runs through October 20th, and PACE needs sponsors to help pay for refs, jerseys, and other equipment. Go to paceomaha.org to help. And thank you for your support from PACE.
Please go to paceomaha.org to support the PACE mission. Thank you.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here from Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Join John, Nick, and I at Lucky Bucket Brewing for a One Beer Friday brought to you by the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild, Friday afternoon on 1620 The Zone.
All right, so here's a tease. We're not going to go too hard at this because we're not for sure. But let's just say there might be a special guest at some point during this show. Should I tell him more? Look around the area.
Yeah.
Look around the area.
That's the way to do it.
And
Right there.
see if there's any musical artists that are in town. Maybe tonight.
That's right. Billy Joel heard us talking smack, and he's going to come in and wrestle us.
And this person, it will be in the building. They'll be doing an interview with one of our sister stations, and that you'll be able to hear at some point today. And maybe they're walking around, and maybe they have some sports takes to get off.
That's right. Taylor Swift is going to stop by and set me straight.
That would be awesome. Be really great. No, Josh, Travis and I are in love.
Love.
Would you finally quit at that point?
If she told me it was real?
Yeah.
No, I think I'd be more skeptical.
The AP women's basketball poll is out.
Finally.
If you're interested in that sort of thing.
It's Tuesday.
LSU is #1. The defending national champions.
Makes
UConn is #back.
So is Paige Beckers.
Paige Beckers is hashtag back.
Big
Iowa comes in
in the Athletic.
Iowa. Caitlin Clark comes in at number 3.
Wow, what a healthy sport this is.
Yeah, I mean, it's got some stars right now,
Yeah.
that's for sure. The Creighton Blue Jays are in the preseason top 25 at number 22. Man, that's been a steady program over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
This class is, they're on its sort of this is the last dance, I suppose, with this group. The same group that went to the Elite Eight 2 years ago, for the most part. Number 22, Creighton, and receiving votes, Nebraska. So local women's basketball, healthy. 26, 27, 28,
33.
29. Thank
By
you,
my
Josh.
count. By my count.
Thank you, Josh. 33. Nebraska comes in. So they both have good starts to their seasons. We could be talking about 2 top 25 teams meeting in Lincoln when those two get together.
Super Bowl Sunday?
Oh, is it? No.
No.
It's got to be.
That'd be way in the depth of conference season. I'm sorry.
I'm going to say it's early November. It is Sunday, November 19th. So it is an NFL Sunday. So yes, those two will get together at 1:00 at PBA. Maybe they will both be top 25 teams by that point.
That's not a month, Connor.
It's in 1 month. That is correct. Nebraska women's basketball, they have their first exhibition in 12 days.
Wow.
Yep. So got to go ahead and get in that mode real quick. I got time. I got 12 days. So I don't know. We could be talking about a couple undefeated teams by that point. In fact, I would say it's most likely the case. Should be a good environment in Lincoln when those two get together. And like you said, Josh, 1 month, 33 days. All right, Matt Rhule. Matt Rhule from yesterday. He had some things to say. He was definitive about what's wrong with the program. Now, there's some hard truths here. Number one, people aren't going to stop talking about Nebraska football the way that they talk about Nebraska football. I'm sorry. We've been doing this for too long. We've come to understand that regardless of how good Nebraska football is, there is going to be an expectation, or there's going to be a, we talk about referendum games all the time, right? But when you win, you evaluate what could happen the rest of the season based on what you most recently saw. And when you lose, you evaluate the rest of the season based upon what you most recently saw. And it just so happens that Nebraska's coming off of a win, a nice win, a road win in the Big Ten. They are 3-3. They went into their bye week. I think Matt Rhule probably had a little bit of time to check out what's being said about his team. And he had a reaction to it yesterday. So here, let's start with number 2, Josh. Does it surprise you at all that fans look at the big picture the way they do? It's a little bit long, so bear with us. But I mean, he really gets to the crux of it here.
Well, I love Husker fans. Let me say that. Okay, I'm talking about the team. The only reason why we have the opportunities we have is because there's so much care about the program. I just have to make sure our players don't act like fans. They act like the guys that are going to go out and play. And so if you're not careful, then all these things start to infiltrate the team. And so I go back and I just look at history. Okay. You look at the team, look at Nebraska football over the last 8 to 10 years in the second half of the season. It's abysmal. Okay. And that's not a knock on anyone. I respect the heck out of those. Those are good coaches.
Do you have a pause button?
But we can't be the type of.
All right. So that's sort of definitive, right? Hey, it's abysmal.
I can't believe he didn't catch more heat for this.
Look at the back half of the season the last few years. It's abysmal. No knock on coaches, but it's abysmal, right? Okay. That's when you know that Matt Rhule's here. He's awake. He's got some things to say. He continues.
8 to 10 years in the second half of the season. It's abysmal. Okay. And that's not a knock on anyone. I respect the heck out of those. Those are good coaches. But we can't be the type of team that, we lose. We lost to Colorado. We're embarrassed. We come back. We win. We play okay. Not very great against La Tech, right? Then we go out. We get embarrassed against Michigan. Now we're embarrassed. Now we can play great against Illinois. We just can't be that team. I don't want to coach that team, and our players don't want to be a part of that team. So that's what it is. And at the same time, there's this thing out there that I can hear, right, about is this coach doing they're all doing a good job. This program's not in good shape. They're all doing a great job, I think. And so I'm in charge of this football program. Sat would love to go no huddle and score 50 points. Tony would love to blitz every play. I run the program. And so we're playing as a team. So all that other stuff, it's why we haven't been to a bowl game. The only Power 5 team that hasn't been to a bowl game in a long time. So if I start talking about bowl games, I'm part of the problem. So the fans are supposed to do this. My daughters, Dad, if we go to a bowl game, can I have Taylor Swift? My daughters are fans, right? They're supposed to do that. I just got to get the team to be really locked in to like today, tomorrow. Because think about Coach Braun, the job that he's done. It comes from North Dakota State, takes this job at Northwestern. He's the DC. Coach Fitzgerald, great friend of mine, a man I respect, gets let go. He steps in as the interim head coach. He's on a 1-year deal. And he's got this team battling, man. They're fighting for their lives. What are we doing? What are we going to be like? We'll find out on Saturday. So that's the message I put out there usually on Mondays when I feel this, because I want our players to have that mentality, but they will. I want our staff, and I hope our fans come to this game as locked in and as thinking this game is as important as anything else, because I respect the team we're playing, and I respect the coaching staff. To be in the situation they're in, to be down 21 points and to fight back, man, that says a lot about the character. We better have the same character. So
he often talks about how when he goes up there and does the press conferences, whether it's on Monday or on Thursday before the game, like he's trying to send a message. And so when you watch the videos, when you watch the GB rewinds, you're like, okay, it's the same stuff that he was saying that week. That comes out maybe a little bit more vulgar, maybe a little bit more yelly, but it comes out to his team. And so he's trying to send a message, which, like he's really good at that. Josh, he's an elite communicator. He is
elite.
And so he preaches it. It's the same thing over and over. It's a consistent message. And I think, one thing that, popped out a little bit during this press conference too, is he's adaptable, right? So I think now that we're 6 games in, we've gone through the bye week, he has a really good handle on what his team is and what his team needs. And so what do we talk about? This is an off-season topic that oftentimes doesn't come up during the season because Nebraska's, hopes and dreams have been dashed, whether it's early or middle or late, usually early. What do we want out of this team? Well, we want him to get, what do we expect? We want him to get better as the season goes along. And so with this coach, they're hamstrung to a certain degree because they're not able to do some of the things that make a good offense, right? They have the talent that they have, and there's only so much you could do, just like any other college football team. But Nebraska, is in a pretty dire situation on the offensive side of the ball right now. But this coach, instead of, trying to square peg, round hole it, trying to make this team become something that they're not, he has gone with, I am going to really, really trust them and lay into them and pour into them and say, all right, this is what you guys need, and let's do this. And he also has to change, with that being said, he also has to change the narrative around Nebraska football. Go back to the respect thing at the beginning of the year. He said it out loud yesterday. If you ever, I know he's talked a lot about how much respect he has for the coaches that have come prior to them. And he does, because I think he likes those people. And I think for the most part, like, they are good people. He has relationships with most of them. The coaching industry is a pretty tight-knit industry. But he said it out loud yesterday. If you want to know, like, now that he has a good read on this team and they have played 6 games, him saying this program is not in good shape, bluntly and blankly yesterday, him saying that out loud is pretty much all you need to know about what he thinks he inherited. And doesn't mean that they're not going to be very good, but they have a sort of job to do. I thought that was really, it's I don't know that it's all that different from what he's sort of been preaching this entire time, but for him to say that, it's like, yeah, this is the stuff we have to get out. He has identified the problem with Nebraska football. And the problem that he has identified is that they care, the players, the program, whatever. It spans into the fan base too. They care about stuff that doesn't matter too much. Stuff that happens outside of the realm of their control. And we'll get into the Iowa part of it here in just a second. But like I said yesterday, my mentions were full of Iowa fans because I tweeted out the clip where he was talking about how the Iowa-Wisconsin game is beautiful. Beautiful. And we're going to play it here in a second. But my mentions are full of Iowa fans saying, damn, I think do I have to like this guy? Do I like this guy? And you can take that however you want it. Is that a good thing for Nebraska? I don't know. But they think the same. Iowa's won, and the point of it is Iowa's won a lot of football games by doing stuff that's not sexy. They just win. They just want to win by one. He was asked yesterday, well, let's just play this right now. Hey, is there a points per game total that you're targeting, that you have targeted, that you want to get to in the league? Which is something that was, I don't know, oftentimes talked about and brought up to the previous coaching staff. Obviously, they went about their business a different way, and they were an offensive mind. Like they had mathematical equations to sort of get there. And Nebraska has little pieces of that too in the individual ball game. Here's Rhule yesterday on if he thinks about that at all.
I would never think about that.
I would never think about
just
that.
Just so you guys know me, because you're here. What I'm like, we were playing Illinois, and I was like, hey, they're not going to move the ball against us today. I don't care if we run the ball every play and punt, and like that's just what you get when I'm coaching. It's 25-mile-an-hour winds. Last thing that can be is a batted ball, right? Like we're going to play that way. So I want to score one more than the other team. That might be old school and kind of boring nowadays, but it'll result in good things in the long run.
Okay. Right? Like that's how he thinks about it.
Oh yeah. That's how we should think about it. The fans are people who care about aesthetic and things like that.
I think eventually it'll matter.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday. I think eventually it'll matter.
You'd like to play a certain way.
Yeah, you
give yourself a better chance to win if you are more versatile on offense.
Exactly. But right now, it's not sort of within their grasp. So they're trying to formulate, we're talking about a mathematical equation, points per game. They're trying to formulate an equation for this team, not for their scheme, not for what they want to do, but for this team and for this individual game and for this opponent. It's 1-0. It's 1-0 every single week. And so yesterday he was asked by Steve Sipple, his reaction to the narrative that surrounds the Big Ten West, that it's not a good division. Here's his response.
I have none. Yeah. I mean, this is my first time going through it, and then Big Ten West will be gone next year anyway. So I literally was a young coach, because I don't want you guys to think I'm always just like coach speak. I was a young coach, head coach at Temple, and I sat down at a table at the retreat with all the American Conference coaches were there. George O'Leary, who I really looked up to, was there, and UCF was rolling at the time, and he was going to become the AD. And I was like, yeah, coach, we play. I forget what year it was. I was like, man, we play Penn State, but then we got Cincinnati, and he was like, Maddie. He's like, just play them one at a time. And you hear that? But the teams I thought were going to be really good that year actually were pretty down. And the teams I thought were going to be down that year were really pretty good. And so I think we face good teams each week. I think it's a battle each week. I just think there's always the narrative out there. Like, people watch the Iowa-Wisconsin game and say it's a bad football game or it's an ugly football game. I think it's a beautiful defensive football game. And, I see a lot of teams that scored a lot of points early in the season in games this weekend, not quite scores quite as many points as the year gets on and people catch up and it gets a little colder. So, Iowa's on its way to having another great year. And people are making a big deal about how many points they score. They're scoring one more than their opponent most games. So I think I don't know anything about the Big Ten West other than I'm facing each one each year. And after the year, I'll probably have a better feel for, kind of who everyone is. And then we'll shuffle it up and we'll be going to the West Coast, and I'll do my best to figure that out.
So Iowa fans saw that clip yesterday and they were like, oh my God, this is it. This is the guy.
This is our guy.
Which I find interesting, considering, I don't know, maybe we only hear from one, one side of the argument just when it's convenient, I suppose. But like most of the times I hear from Iowa fans that it's like, well, we got to get rid of this offense. We got to join the 21st century here.
Mm-hmm.
And start passing the ball a little bit, have some dynamic quarterback play, whatever it is. But then I hear this yesterday from, seriously, filled with Iowa fans who grabbed the tweet and they were like, man, that's a guy I like. That's a guy who I think has it figured out, unfortunately. And they even said they even put that in there as the qualifier a lot of times. Like, yeah, I don't think I want to like this, but I do. And, I've gone back and forth over the years of like, do you have to be like the Big Ten West teams to win the Big Ten West? Do you have to conform to what everybody else is doing? And from a aesthetic standpoint, from like what you do on offense and who you are, the answer is no. You could be a little bit different, and certainly you can be dynamic. Like you could do different things, right? You don't have to be Iowa to win the Big Ten West. But the thing that Iowa does that is, that you have to do to win is they have their formula really, really dialed in, and they do fundamental stuff. They block and tackle. And they don't make mistakes, and they play great special teams. That you have to do. If Scott Frost would have been able to find a way to block and tackle and play great special teams while having a dynamic offense, that would have worked, right? In a nutshell, that would have worked. But it's some of what Nebraska has done in the past, and I think what he's talking about fans and the way that they talk about things. I mean, it's also this program and always looking around and see what everybody else is doing around the outside. It's become like a sickness in his mind, and he is not down with the sickness, Josh.
Wow.
No, he is not doing the down with the sickness noise. Not at all. So that sets the tone for the final 6 weeks of the season. Also, I mean, there was a really, really big dose of, hey, if you're even thinking about this being a trap game or whatever it is, that's not going to happen in our program. We're going to be the same team every single time we play. And so at the end of the season, if Nebraska is able to just play good football, whatever that gets them over the next 6 games, maybe it's 3 wins, maybe it's 4 wins, maybe it's only 2 and they don't make a bowl game. We will look back as Nebraska became a consistent football program and a consistent football team. We'll look back at those 6 days. From the second the Michigan game ended to Sunday night practice to the Illinois game and the goal line stand and say, that was a turning point. That felt right.
I feel like there will be stories and long reads in the offseason about the Sunday practice.
That never happened, And so maybe you need some things to go your way, but also you get, and what Matt Rhule, how he sort of talked about the fourth or the goal line stand was like they went out there, they didn't think about what was going on. They just thought they needed to stop Illinois from getting a touchdown. And that was it. It wasn't like, hey, what happens if they score here and they're up 7-0? And then what if we turn, like, how bad of shape are we going to be in if this and this and this and this happens? So I think he liked the way the team responded. Now, can you keep it up? Right? That's the next challenge. If Nebraska passes this test this week, and wins, and maybe even convincingly against Northwestern, that's a big step for this program to be able to have the bye week, capitalize off of momentum that you may have, perceived momentum that you may have gained from winning on the road against Illinois, carry that through the bye week and play just as well and just as hard this Saturday against Northwestern. That's a big step. And then you got to do it again. So it's possible, but he is very much cautioning everybody and saying, look, we can't afford to not think about anything. We can't afford to think about a bowl game right now. We can, us, me and you, not them.
And we will, because Connor booked a trip to Vegas.
That's right. And I looked at all the bowl game projections this morning, as I'll be doing every week for the rest of the season.
Cool.
Coming up next, NFL reaction, overreaction. We'll dive back into the week of the NFL, and we'll see what there is to overreact to next on 1620 The Zone. This week's Zone Deal, though, is to Cops. It's a big one. By the way, we'll have some Cops gift certificates to give away throughout the week as well, including tomorrow during the tweet bag. This week's Zone Deal is to Cops. Cops makes more than just delicious pizza. They also have steak, seafood, pasta, fresh salads, and tasty charred wings. 3 convenient locations in Omaha. This week's Zonedale, $50 worth of vouchers for just $25. It's half off, Josh. On sale Friday at 9 at 1620thezone.com.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
The cigar enthusiasts at Hearth Cigars and Pipes are a pretty diverse bunch of humans. Some enjoy an adult beverage or two, others pass the time with a competitive yet friendly game of dominoes. Still others enjoy shooting some pool downstairs, while more than a few are just satisfied with each other's company. The common thread with all of them is the awesomeness that is their favorite cigar from the humidor. Hearth Cigars and Pipes, just off the 48th Street exit from I-680 at the corner of Mormon Bridge Road and McKinley, and at hearthcigars.com.
Make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the roofery.
When it's time to replace or repair storm damage, make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the local, trusted, and proven choice. No one has installed more Da Vinci roofs, and there's a reason why John Higgins Weather Guard is the nation's leader. Community member, community supporter. Make the right call.
John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the rooferys. Make the right call.
You know, if we know anything, it's that local matters. Local shops, local restaurants, even locally brewed beers. October is Drink Local Month. So the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild is challenging beer, seltzer, and cider drinkers like you to put your palate through its paces and drink local brews. Because seriously, Nebraska is really on the cutting edge when it comes to brewers who think outside the box. And besides, you really want to be drinking what they drink over in Iowa? Didn't think so. Click nebraska.beer to find brews near you.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Breast cancer is among the most common types of cancers in the United States and accounts for 1 of 3 new female cancers every year. Get familiar with your own breast with self-exams, and if something doesn't feel right, get it checked out. Find out more at cancer.org.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
All right, welcome back. More of the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. We'll still have Louis Vicaire, Wildcat Report. Join us at 1 o'clock. Talk some Northwestern football. Football. It's mostly been a relative success for them this year, I think. The comeback win against Minnesota was certainly nice. Made everybody feel a little bit better up there. All right, so we'll... What's this?
Connor.
Is it another Ted Cruz quote?
Close.
Okay.
Pete Ricketts, senator from Nebraska. Remember, senator, no longer governor, will introduce a bill that will allow international students to profit off of NIL. Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Brand new information.
Yeah, I feel like an idiot. I should have. This is what a sports talk radio host is supposed to do, right? So I caught wind of this, and I should have told you. This is my Michael video.
Oh, well, then in that case, let me get this silly NFL graphic off the screen.
I should have told people about this yesterday, but instead I withheld the information.
Yeah.
Like the damn media always does.
Be a sports radio man. Talk about how everyone is back channeling you, Connor.
So yeah, it seems like they're introducing the bill, right? So it's not like, it's not law yet. But there is a plan in place to get Nebraska's student athletes to international student athletes like Keisei Tominaga,
Alpha,
Jazz Shelley, Nuri Newilly, who are some at Creighton? Francisco Farabello.
Oh, great name.
Maybe. To be able to make NIL, which is awesome for them. As Ricketts says in the World Herald story that was just posted, it is, quote, common sense. It's a common sense bill.
We love common sense bills, don't we, folks?
Level the playing field for these international students that are playing American sports. It would also make sure our colleges don't lose talented student athletes because of an outdated visa system. Jazz had to, she went home and then
did some like appearance type stuff, right?
Well, she was like, she has like an online merch, stand basically, and she can't, people can only buy the stuff when she's at home, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So yeah, I like common sense.
All right, boots are on the ground down under you. Store's open, folks.
That's exactly what happened. It happened in June. Mm-hmm. It's like I'm home. You could buy stuff from my website now. It's like awesome.
I'd like to be
great. I'd like to
in
do
Nebraska with my team, but
I'd also like to maybe be able to do these things like during basketball season when I want to buy a shirt that says Jazz Shelley on it or something like that.
When people are seeing me on their TVs,
right. Or buy a shirt that says Keisei Alpha Keisei. Now we can make the shirt, Josh. Alpha Keisei. Right? And we can give him a cut. Just like Tominaga. That's coming to you. So now he can make money off of Tominaga if he chooses to take our idea, which I think he should.
I think he will. We're pretty convincing.
It's a great one.
Also, 3 Huskers have earned black shirts.
More black shirts?
More black shirts.
Who?
Sanford, Heinrich, and Butler.
Phelan Sanford from Benkelman. Nick Henrich.
Yep.
And Jamari Butler. They're all black shirts. Wow. Josh, you were on top of the breaking news today. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I got to do something around here.
Should we do reaction over reaction?
I don't have to work the front desk anymore.
That's nice.
Yeah. Welcome back, Miss Cynthia. We've missed you.
We really, really have.
Yes.
We truly have.
NFL reaction over reaction time.
Yeah,
I read the takes. Connor decides, are they appropriate reactions or gross overreactions? Take number 1. The 49ers and Eagles aren't as far separated from the NFC as we thought. NFC pack.
The NFC pack. So you look at the standings, and we have our 5-1 teams. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to ask Josh to do a little side quest here in a second.
Ooh.
But we have an NFC. I mean, we got Philly at 5-1. We got Detroit at 5-1. We got San Francisco at 5-1. Who else would you even put in that pack? Potentially Dallas, right? Even though that's been a little wobbly over the last couple of weeks. And the 49ers just wrecked the Dallas Cowboys, so maybe you'd keep them a little bit separated in that regard. So, I don't think this is crazy, but we're really just talking about one team. We're really just talking about Detroit sort of joining the pack, and that's probably true. I never thought that the 49ers were invincible. Like we said, we talked about them, and we're like, yeah, they're the best team in the NFL. I still take them basically over anybody. Now they got injury concerns. We'll talk about that here in a couple seconds as well. But yeah, no, I don't think this is an overreaction, but I also don't think it's, it's a crazy take, right?
Yeah, the 49ers were always, and I don't mean this disparagingly, they were always a house of cards, right? Like everyone had to stay healthy, which is just kind of impossible in an NFL season,
that's
right?
Not that, I don't know if it's a fair characterization of the 49ers. Like they're not a house of cards.
What?
Everybody has to stay healthy all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
They did only lose that And I know they said differently after the game. They only lost the game because the kicker missed the kick at the end. Like,
Right. It's true. Like, I don't know. They're both really good teams, and there's probably 3 really good teams in the NFC, and that's it.
yeah, I would agree with that assessment.
Throw the Lions in there. Okay, I got a side quest for you,
Ooh,
Josh.
a side quest.
Power rank the 5-1 teams in the NFL.
Wow.
There are 5 of them. Miami, Kansas City, Philly, Detroit, and San Francisco. Are you prepared for this?
Would you like me to go 1 to 5 or 5 to 1?
Go 5 to 1. Or go 1 to 5. Sorry. Start at number 1.
Give me the Niners.
Okay, I agree.
2, and this surprises even myself. Give me the Dolphins.
Disagree.
3.
I go Kansas City there.
I put KC at 3. Just right now. They'll play each other, and Kansas City will rise as the season progresses. But
okay,
now,
I go Philly 3.
Kansas City still does that weird thing where it's like, gosh, shouldn't you win by more against these scrub teams that you play each and every week?
Yeah.
I will take Detroit at 4 and Philly at 5.
Philly 5.
Jalen Hurts throws a lot of interceptions.
Okay. Yeah, I would go Miami 4, Detroit 5. But it's no knock on Detroit. Like, Detroit's in the pack. Nope. They're
going to play meaningful January football.
Yeah, they have totally exceeded my expectations through 6 weeks. I mean, I was not in on the hype train going into the year. I was sort of in a prove it situation. They have checked all of the boxes that they've needed to check so far. It's a good team. Next,
take number 2. The Christian McCaffrey usage rate was too high, thus the injury.
Josh, I just for posterity here, I mentioned that they were using him a lot, right? We talked about this in previous iterations of reaction overreaction.
Yeah.
It was really heavy. And I never like when a really good team, especially one with a whole bunch of other weapons that they can use, decides to go so heavy on one guy. Obviously the MVP, not the MVP train, because he wasn't going to win MVP because he doesn't play quarterback, but like he was going to be the offensive player of the year in the NFL. And now he's hurt. And, I don't know what that looks like. Maybe he misses time. Maybe he doesn't, but I would have liked it if they would have kind of spread it out a little bit more. In the past, they have been, all right, here's some McCaffrey. And this is, halfway through last year when they acquired him. Here's some McCaffrey. Here's some Elijah Mitchell. They have the Mason guy back there now. But like we also have Deebo Samuel and Ayuk and George Kittle. And like we spread it around pretty evenly. It was way heavy Christian McCaffrey.
It was.
In the first 5-6 weeks of the season. And he got hurt. So I'm not surprised by that. You could never predict an injury, but I'm not necessarily with McCaffrey. Maybe you can.
That's where I'm going.
Maybe you can.
I think by that logic, you should just never use Christian McCaffrey because he's going to get hurt at some point in the season. Miss a month.
So you're saying you like the big usage rate because he was going to get hurt?
I don't like it. It was confusing because there were so many other things to use on that team.
Sure.
I guess George Kittle was out the first couple weeks, right? Okay. Yeah.
I think this directly
kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah. I like, once again, you could never pick you can never predict it, but they really, I like them in a situation where they don't have to hand it to him 20 times a game or throw it, have 25 touches in one game for Christian McCaffrey because they're still good and they'll still find ways to score points and get touchdowns.
And they'll still ask him to play quarterback at season's end.
Right. Hopefully not in the NFC Championship game. Next.
Aaron Rodgers will return riding upon a majestic steed to lead the New York Jets into the playoffs.
Okay, so in a vacuum, sans Aaron Rodgers, the Jets have a good defense, a very good defense. They've checked a ton of the boxes so far. I don't want to say they're a quarterback away because I've talked about my sort of admiration for Zach Wilson so far this year, but like they are almost a playoff team without him.
Yeah,
they might be a playoff team without him. They're 3-3.
Have you looked at their next 3 weeks, Connor?
No.
At Giants, host the Chargers, at the Raiders.
Okay, so they could win 2 out of 3 there, right? Like they're going to be in the mix for a playoff spot even without him. So, like, it might not be because of Aaron Rodgers, but that psychopath might try and come back and play football. Yes. So I don't know how to react to that.
It sure looks like he's going to.
Yeah. It's truly amazing.
Now, I think the AFC is just so deep that it's going to keep the Jets just at arm's length.
Right.
But they're 3-3, and I did not think they would be. And that's commendable.
Yeah, it is. It is. Certainly didn't think they beat the Eagles on Sunday.
Like, they'll pass the Colts by the season's end. They'll pass the Texans right now.
Yeah. They're going to be in that mix.
Yeah, they're going to be on that graphic until the very last weekend in the hunt.
Next.
You just can't trust the Buffalo Bills.
They've been on my do not trust list for a long time, Josh, and they will have weeks where it's like, oh, okay, that's the Bills that we expect. Like when they beat the Dolphins by 4 touchdowns. Like, oh, all right, now we get it. And then they go to London and they lose to the Jags. And then they should have lost to the Giants the other night on Sunday Night Football. And, this is like my Bucks of last year, right? This is my team who is good enough to beat the bad teams barely and will not win in the playoffs.
They play down to the competition.
They do. They do. And they'll probably even beat some
big games.
They'll probably even beat some good teams.
Mm-hmm. They got the Bengals in a couple weeks. And
what did I have them there at their win total? I don't think I took their under this year, but I was
preseason. You called them a candidate for regression.
But I think their win total was like 10.5, and I wasn't really willing to go below that.
Yeah.
So I didn't have them on my total wins this year, but yeah, I think the Dolphins are the better team in that division.
Yeah, the Bills are third in points for, third in points against, and it just often doesn't look quite right.
No.
We move on. Cooper Kupp has made Puka Nacua go away.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Did you see the stat line last week? Like,
no, I just haven't heard the name Puka Nacua in a couple of weeks.
It's way less targets. I mean, the first game, so Cooper Kupp's been back for 2 weeks. I think the first game, Puka had 7 catches on like 11 or 12 targets. And last week it was like, 7 targets and 4 catches, and Cooper Kupp all of a sudden, I mean, Cooper Kupp comes back and he's automatically the best receiver in the NFL. I'm not sure how that guy does it. But yeah, the Puka Nacua thing has really gone away over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, just 7 targets on Sunday, 4 catches,
That's
26 yards.
Yep. This is for
9.
Puka.
Yeah.
And Cooper Kupp's over 100 yards in both of his games so far. Yeah, he's the guy.
Yeah, there's a pretty strong line of demarcation where
there's not enough room for the both of them.
You can look at Puka's stat line, his game logs, and go, "Oh, okay, that's where Cooper
This
came back."
town ain't big enough for the 2 of us.
L.A., a famously small town, cannot accommodate multiple stars.
Exactly. No, I mean, it was a good story the first couple of weeks, but then I saw the takes of the people talking about how, oh yeah, no, they're gonna be even better. They're gonna be awesome when Cooper Kupp comes back, and they'll have Puka Nacua too. I'm like, yeah, but they'll have Cooper Kupp, right? That's the bigger deal in this situation.
That's who Matt Stafford trusts.
Right.
The Patriots need to sell.
Yeah, I don't know how this process hasn't begun already. I'm sure we'll be hearing about them in Josh's bottom 5 a little bit later.
Oh yeah.
But they are 1-5. Mac Jones looks like one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. Their division is hard, right? Like,
yeah.
They beat the Jets, but I don't know that I would, predict that in week 18 when they play each other again. And like I just their season is gone. You through 6 weeks, you could start making some assumptions, or you could start saying some definitive things about teams. The Patriots have no. There's no way out of this hole. They got outscored 70-3 over a 2-week span.
I will say this again in the bottom 5 today. Mac Jones threw one of the single worst passes I have ever seen in my life on Sunday.
We saw some bad quarterbacking this weekend.
Yeah.
Did you happen to watch any of the Gardner Minshew Fest?
I saw the highlights, and
he was horrible.
At the end, they throw up the graphic, and it said 3 interceptions, and I said, no, I swear they've shown him throw at least 5.
Yeah, they were all like directly to
Yeah.
the Jags too. It's like, there's some bad quarterbacking going on right now. So if you're in that spot, you have no choice. You have to try something different, because that's death in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be stuck with a bad quarterback for a long period of time. You just can't. And then if you try to get out of it with like patchwork free agent signings like the Colts have, it's not going to work either. You got to go back to the drawing board. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mac Jones isn't the guy.
It's a total teardown.
Yep.
In the offseason.
Yep.
Including you, Hoodie.
Billy. Billy B.
The Bengals are again the favorites to win the AFC North because everyone else's offense is a trash can.
Look at what the Ravens are doing. I mean, the Ravens are 4-2 right now, but they have problems. They have regressed. They're not really able to run I know they have a new offensive coordinator. They're not able to run the football. Lamar has not had a great start to the season, and we're hard on them. Pittsburgh was never going to have an offense. Cleveland was never going to have an offense.
Mm-hmm.
And so Cincinnati sits there at 3-3 with 2 gigantic wins over the last 2 weeks. I think they go into their bye this week. And they have their bye this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have 49ers Bills coming out on the other side, which is obviously really difficult. But I mean, they're the best team in that division. I'm still pretty sure of it.
2 weeks ago, we said when the Bengals were 1-3, they had to go 2-0 against the Cardinals and Seahawks. They did that. They are 3-3. They are still technically last in the AFC North because
they played another game.
Yeah.
Well, how about Cam Taylor-Britt wrecking DK
Great
Metcalf, just triggering DK Metcalf all day long on Sunday? That was great.
I
think the Bengals are the best team in that division. I would pick them to win it right now. I don't know what the current odds are.
Very cautiously, Joe Burrow seems to maybe not righted the ship fully, but he has turned it. So maybe that
he's much more mobile now than he ever has been.
Yeah.
The Bengals are plus 490 to win the AFC North behind Baltimore and Cleveland.
Flyer, everybody?
I just don't see it for Cleveland. I really don't.
FanDuel.com/Happer?
FanDuel.com/Happer. Put in your $5 bet to get 200 bonus cash at plus 490 on the Cincinnati Bengals. What's to lose?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it.
Last take. We have seen the last of Ryan Tannehill as the starter in Tennessee.
Josh, let me just flip that right around to you.
Okay.
We have seen the last of Ryan Tannehill as the starter in Tennessee.
I think so. He came off the field and there was a lot of nodding as he was waiting for the cart to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the cart was driving off, just seems like he might miss some significant time and they might just throw in the towel.
Why would you? You have 2 young guys that you've drafted in back-to-back years. You're coming off of a bye, or you're going into a bye now. Like it's a perfect time. He's hurt. Like just hand the reins over to whoever you're going to hand him over to. Now Willis over Levis is interesting. Levis isn't there.
Levis was on the injury report last week.
Okay.
So I believe he was not an option.
All right.
I believe he will be an option going forward, and you've got to see what that looks like.
Yep. I think you got to take that shot. Now's the time because they're not going anywhere this year.
No. Also, they are 3rd from the bottom in the AFC.
Right.
Not sure what draft pick they would have, but it would be very good, I imagine.
Yeah, we're at the point in the season. We're a third in.
Mm-hmm.
It's decision making time.
Yeah.
For some teams that are hanging right on the edges of whatever they're on, especially the bad ones. Tennessee's at decision time for sure.
Yeah.
That is NFL reaction overreaction. Thank you, Josh. That was fun. Another great week in the NFL. We look forward to overreacting next week. Once again, put in your futures for the Bengals to win the AFC North at plus 490. We will come back. We have the odd news next on 1620 The Zone.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley.
Kudos to him. He has brought people into, whether they know what the hell they're watching or not, he has brought more people into the college football game this year than I can ever recall. Yeah. And he's probably gotten people that are diehard NFL fans that don't live in an area where college football is big. They're paying attention to one team in college football, or actually one individual in college football. Yeah. We've never seen it before. The impact of a team that is not that good doing ratings like they are. fits for one guy.
Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. Weekdays 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
After another cool start this morning, mostly sunny and very pleasant this afternoon with the high in Omaha of 71. Southerly winds a tad breezy at times, up to 15 miles an hour. Tonight, increase in clouds and not as cold. Breezy with a low of 52. Southerly wind gusts possible up to 20 miles an hour. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
More with Connor and Josh after this.
We're going to have an extensive professional relationship, my man.
On 1620, The Zone.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Creighton Sports Update. Creighton men's soccer is welcoming the third-ranked Akron Zips to Omaha tomorrow at 6 p.m. We need you to pack the stands of Morrison, so we're offering 2 tickets, 2 hot dogs, and 2 drinks for just $15. Take advantage of this deal at gocreighton.com/buy and enter promo code FUN to make sure you don't miss out. And that's your Creighton Sports Update.
1620 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
It's Halloween at Genesis Health Clubs. Join with no enrollment fee, no contract, and save 31% per month every month. It may be the spookiest time of the year, but starting a new fitness routine doesn't have to be scary. Genesis Health Clubs has top-of-the-line equipment and the absolute best personal trainers, tennis professionals, and group fitness instructors to help keep you motivated and headed towards your fitness goals. Plus, relax in luxury afterwards with saunas, steam rooms, and fluffy towel service. Whatever your fitness needs, Genesis is here to help every step of the way, and there's nothing scary about that. This Halloween, join Genesis Health Clubs with no enrollment fee, no contract, and save 31% per month every single month. But hurry, this offer will end before you have a chance to count your Halloween candy. It ends on Halloween and won't extend. Come to Genesis and get in the best shape of your life so you can handle anything those zombies, werewolves, and vampires throw at you. Plus, get your New Year's resolutions checked off with time to spare. Join Genesis Health Clubs with no enrollment fee, no contract, and save 31% per month every single month.
No matter how dark it gets, there's always a sunrise, a warm bed, a warm meal, and hope. Sienna Francis House serves hope to those experiencing homelessness and addiction. Every day, we provide more than 1,000 meals and serve nearly 500 guests in our emergency shelter, Miracles Recovery Program, and supportive housing apartments, and help our guests navigate a path to permanent housing. Learn more at siennafrancis.org.
La Casa del Huarache, serving authentic Mexican food in Omaha for more than 19 years. They're the house of the famous huaraches, topped with green or red salsa, and your favorite protein like asada, pastor, chicken, chorizo, or ham. Then finished with queso fresco. There's a full menu with your favorite Mexican dishes and much more. And La Casa del Huarache now has a sushi and seafood bar, as well as your favorite cold beer and cocktails. Visit them at 4826 Q Street. Open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Ask for their daily specials.
Email us on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever is on your mind. Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me, Gary, at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox.
O'Reilly. Get ultimate durability and extreme weather performance with Rain-X Advantage wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Purchase a pair of Rain-X Advantage wiper blades and save $10, plus get 2 times O Rewards points. Our professional parts people will even install your new wiper blades for free. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Unauthorized Big Red Breakfast is back this Friday. Join me, Gary Sharp, and Nick Hanley from Sharp and Hanley in the morning. Each home game Friday. This year, our new home, Hy-Vee. We'll be on the road to various Hy-Vees each home game Friday, breaking down all the big stories about each Husker home game.
And this week, you can join us on the 132nd and Dodge Linden Market Hy-Vee, featuring a breakfast buffet for just our show. One trip, just $12. All you can eat, just $15. It's every home game Friday with Sharp and Hanley at Hy-Vee on 1620 The Zone.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome back. More of the Connor Happer Show. Oh,
hey, wait, this is the odd news.
Yeah.
Who's producing the show?
Josh, fire the odd news music.
All right.
Everybody wants to hear it. Everybody wants to hear the open.
Yeah,
And
that's
now
better.
we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
You found it.
I gotta start looking at this more often. Put some stuff on the YouTube.
Well, we're actually going to talk about this nice lady.
Oh, are we?
In the odd news here.
Perfect. Why don't we just do it right now?
Okay.
So do we have a backstory on the Chargers, intense Chargers fan?
Yes, intense Chargers fan went viral during the game last night. She was seen jumping up and down, gnashing her teeth.
Yeah.
And if you're watching on 1620 The Zone TV, you can see her in a still image. Many were saying
she's a plant.
This is an actress.
Yeah, she's a plant.
The Chargers have come out and not doxed her because she's a customer, but she has been a season ticket holder for many, many years and she does this at every Chargers game. She's known amongst Chargers fans that this is what she does.
Does she do it with the sole intent of being on television, or is this random that the television has sort of discovered her? Because apparently this is not the first time she has been on TV.
Correct. I believe it is a known thing, and the Chargers kind of slip the info to the network like, hey,
this lady's crazy.
You guys love ESPN. You love your crowd reaction
They do.
shots. Let me point you in the direction of this nice
I mean,
young
it just
lady.
looked too perfect. I guess part of the question that I had was, why is there like a curtain behind her?
Yeah, what is
where is she sitting?
She holds
it seems as
it's
if
not
she
a
has
suite, it's a cabana, I believe is what they call it at SoFi.
Oh, that's right. One of the field side suites.
Yeah, field side cabana at SoFi Field.
Yeah. Okay. So she is paying big money for that. That's pretty big time stuff. But it, like the visual when they kept showing her on TV made you feel like she was in her own studio.
Yes. Like she was
like
off
they
to
were
the side of the Manning cast.
They were cutting to her and she was in a different location. Let's go to Chargers, lady. Yeah. A lot of weird stuff there last night. But good. I'm glad she's become the face of the Chargers.
She has. Whether she likes it or not. She's
Sorry,
the
Justin
face
Herbert.
of the Chargers.
Definitely don't want it to be Brandon Staley.
No. These last two stories are bathroom related.
Oh, good.
Didn't do that on purpose. Just happened. Do we want to keep Chargers lady up there? Because I kind of like her.
Okay, we'll keep her up there. She's the third co-host today.
Lowering over us for this segment. Tulane overcame a 21-10 third quarter deficit to beat Memphis 31-21 on Friday night.
Oh, I know where this is going.
They left everything they had out on the field, and no one embodied that more than defensive back DJ Douglas. At one point during the game, Douglas was photographed standing in the corner, Blair Witch style, and he appeared to be relieving himself.
Mm-hmm.
When you got to go, you got to go.
Apparently.
Tulane coach Willie Fritz was quoted in the Memphis News when he saw the photograph saying, "What's he doing? Peeing?" He didn't say peeing, though. Is that what it looks like? First I've seen of it. If that's what he's doing, it's pretty disappointing.
Yeah. Well,
Douglas was not made available to reporters after the game.
Yeah, you can't do that. Sorry. I mean, you gotta run into the side. You gotta run into the underneath the tunnel, or you gotta get the tent out. Maybe you have that. Maybe you don't. If you're playing football at Tulane, but I know it's really difficult. First of all, you got to take care of your business before the game. I'm sorry, you can't have to go to the bathroom during the football game because things could change at any moment.
Sweat it out.
They're gonna need you.
Yep.
It's the same thing for like if you're broadcasting a game, unless you're Keith Jackson, and you could just get a bathroom installed in the press box of Memorial Stadium, then you got that kind of pull, then great. DJ Douglas, defensive back for Tulane, does not have that kind of pull.
Yeah.
You cannot get a toilet installed on the sideline, although they should. It'd be a great thing for, to have toilets installed on the sideline just for these specific purposes. A lot of times in those stadiums, I don't know the capabilities of what is going on. And is this at Memphis or Tulane? Memphis, probably, right? I don't know what the capabilities of their stadium is like, but usually in a lot of these places, they have small bathrooms straight, like in the tunnel, in the vom, as they call it.
Vom?
Yeah, in the vomitorium, like the entrance to get out onto the field. Like it's right there for the specific purpose of this exact thing. So if he would have gone about 20 steps further, he might have found one. They have one at both of our local arenas, just right off the side of the court. Just run in there, go. They're not for public use, so there's no line or anything like that. Just go in there, go to the bathroom. But he had to go. When you gotta go, you gotta go.
You gotta go.
That thing it wasn't number 2.
Correct, which is an excellent segue for our next story, Connor. We go to the Nightcap with Unk and Ocho podcast. Are you familiar with the Nightcap with Unk and Ocho podcast?
No, it's on my list, though.
Okay. Maybe Josh listens to it at double speed or something. If he did, he would have heard Shannon Sharp discuss his bathroom habits as it relates to dating.
Dating?
He says, the most important boundary is gas. He won't fart in front of a lady friend, and if she has any hopes of a lasting relationship with the Pro Football Hall of Famer, she better not fart in front of him either.
I definitely didn't do it for a while.
Yeah, there's
certain boundaries there, there's certain limitations. But if the person that you are dating decides that they're going to let one go a couple dates in or a couple like hangouts in, whatever it might be, is that a deal breaker for you? Because it's not for me.
No.
I don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
I prefer it not to happen.
Correct.
But if it happens, it's not like, all right, see you later. It's not a hard and fast rule.
Right. Shannon Sharp told co-host Chad Johnson, going to the bathroom in front of a woman, I don't do that. I don't pass gas. No. Hell no. Stunned by Sharp's admission, Johnson gave the polar opposite take, noting his grandma once told him as soon as he finds a woman who can use the bathroom with the door open, that's the one. This one right here, Johnson said of his fiance. I knew she was the one when she farted in front of me. Ocho, wow. Hey, I broke up with a girl for doing that, Sharp butted in. I swear before God and 2 white men I did.
Okay.
I don't quite understand the origins of that phrase, but I don't think I'm supposed to either.
Yeah, there's a comfort level when you get to a certain point. You want to have that. You want to achieve that in your relationships. Maybe Shannon's just never gotten there.
Ocho said he also grades his fiance's farts.
Okay, that
right. Feels like a step too far.
Yep.
Too comfortable.
Now we're into kinks.
Yeah. And it goes on to continue their conversation, but there's an interesting paragraph at the bottom that I'd like to read. Sharp clearly doesn't agree with Johnson on the issue of women passing gas and using the bathroom, but he aligns much better with his new ESPN colleague, Dan Orlovsky. Earlier this year, during an appearance on the Pat McAfee show, Orlovsky revealed that his wife will not go number 2 when he's home.
At all.
Yeah.
People have specific rules about this, and I don't.
You have to be allowed to go to the bathroom in your own home.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
That house has to be big enough to where Dan won't know.
Yeah. Just close your eyes, go outside, do some lawn work or something like that.
Dan Orlovsky's got some serial killer tendencies.
Yeah, he's a real true weirdo. Get some different colored pants too, Dan. Skin colored pants.
I mean, come on.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That is indeed the odd news. We will return. Don't forget, Louis Vaquer, Wildcat Report, still coming at 1. Also, potentially special guest. I can't give you more than that.
We can't.
But
we've been told it's likely to happen. Though.
Yes. Also, can't tell you for sure that it's going to happen, which is part of the reason why I can't tell you who it's going to be. But maybe. You never know what you're going to get in the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
1620 The Zone's 4-quarter pick'em returns. It's your chance to win $1,620. All you have to do is correctly pick 4 college or NFL games against the spread. Listen to qualify every weekday or enter online at 1620thezone.com. One lucky listener will be selected each week to make their picks live on air.
Awesome.
Go to 1620thezone.com for complete rules and contest details. It's 4-quarter pick'em with 1620 The Zone.
With over 45 years in business, Thrasher Foundation Repair makes stressful home repairs super easy with precise repair and genuine care. From basement waterproofing to foundation repair, concrete restoration, and crawl space repair, you can count on Thrasher to handle it with ease and expertise. Schedule a free estimate today at gothrasher.com.
Precise repair, genuine care, Thrasher.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here with Dr. Lance Kugler of Kugler Vision. You know, it's been 5.5 years since I had my procedure done at Kugler Vision. I remember going in for the eye analysis and finding out, hey, there's something other than LASIK.
Well, I think it's important to have a full analysis of the eye so that you can make a good recommendation. A lot of the patients that we see have been told over the years, sometimes a long time ago or sometimes more recently, that there isn't an option for them. And I think that's just because they haven't had as in-depth of analysis as they need to know for sure what their options are.
And I think one of the coolest things about that entire process was how comfortable I felt. And I know as I've talked to other people who had procedures done, they said the same thing, whether it was the consultation, whether it was the day of the procedure, all of those questions were answered. And like there was genuine care for me as an individual person.
We all have the same goal. We want you to see as well as you possibly can.
Schedule an eye analysis today, 402-558-2211, or you can visit their website, kuglervision.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Let's watch the game at DJ's. Nick Hanley here for my friends at DJ's Dugout. Football is in full swing. College football, pro football. Watch your favorite team at DJ's. Great food, great drinks, great service. Plus, DJ's casual, comfortable atmosphere and huge TV walls are an Omaha tradition. Let's watch the game at DJ's, Omaha's hometown iconic sports bar for 30 years. Locally and Vietnam veteran-owned with 7 metro area locations. Dig in at the Dugout.
Here's today's Husker Max Practice Report, brought to you by Tickets for Less on 1180 and 1620 The Zone.
Husker football head coach Matt Rhule says he just wants his team focusing on going 1-0 every week.
I feel good about where our team is, but our team has got to eliminate the looking past just what's important this week. When we got embarrassed at Michigan, we didn't think about anything else other than Friday night. And we were locked in. And we're going to find out about myself as the head coach, and our coaches and our players and our staff. You know, can we have that same focus this week? We better.
Rhule officially announced who will be the starting quarterback against Northwestern this Saturday.
Yeah, I think, we're working hard to get Jeff to be the best that he can be. We're working hard to get Heinrich and Chubb to be the best that they can be. We'll play with Heinrich, for now. Jeff is ready to go on a moment's notice. Sometimes we mix him in with the ones a lot in practice.
For The Zone, I'm Matt McMaster.
The Husker Max Practice Report, brought to you by Tickets for Less on 1180 and 1620 The Zone.
Attention all Nebraska Huskers football fans. Get ready for an electrifying season of college football with Tickets for Less. Experience the thrill of the game and witness the power of a new era under our exciting new head coach. And here's the best part. Use promo code THEZONE to score incredible savings on your Husker tickets from Tickets for Less. Whether you're cheering from the stands at Memorial or plan to catch a game on the road, Tickets for Less has the seats you need. Don't miss out on this opportunity to be part of the Huskers journey. Visit ticketsforless.com and use promo code THEZONE today.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Breast cancer is among the most common types of cancers in the United States and accounts for 1 of 3 new female cancers every year. Get familiar with your own breasts with self-exams, and if something doesn't feel right, get it checked out. Find out more at cancer.org.
Many people have things to tell us about Shannon Sharp's farts. So,
What a sentence.
We welcome any and all information that that people want to send our way.
Yeah.
If you feel it's relevant.
We just want the story to be reported accurately.
That's all. Yeah. Should I be like a real journo and say send tips to the DMs or to the to the email inbox?
We are very easy to get a hold of.
We are very
If you have
accessible.
something to say about Shannon Sharp's farts.
Many have said that we're the most accessible show.
Ooh.
Let's go back to Colorado this weekend. Did you hear that Colorado lost after winning by 29 points?
Eventually, I heard, yes.
Saw this take over the weekend. Now, consider the source.
Oh.
It is from Barstool Sports. All right. There is a previous relationship with Deion Sanders and Barstool Sports.
That's right.
Right. This is from Casey Smith, who, I don't know, is just apparently one of their college football talkers. She says the following: Colorado blowing a 29-point lead to lose to Stanford is a bad, bad loss. No spin zone needed. But again, the celebration from Deion haters is loud. It's the man's first year at a program that nobody cared about. Win or lose, it's very clear that people care about Colorado now. And I just want to go ahead and nip this in the bud while we can. All right? We are not going to go down the road of another Northwestern situation, and not the Northwestern situation that you're thinking about right now. It has nothing to do with clapping or car washes or anything like that. The Northwestern situation, as we previously know it, is this. People talk about Northwestern and they're only graded on their own scale. They're not using the same scale as everybody else. We don't compare them to other teams. They're only graded against themselves. And we're talking about from the outside looking in. We must grade college football teams, especially Power 5 college football teams, as it compares to everybody else. We must use the same set of criteria, unless it's Ohio State and, that group, the national championship group, right? So if you're making the case that, Northwestern is when they were winning 8-9 games and winning the Big Ten West, right? Or they did it in the COVID year. They also did it before that. Like, okay, we're making the case that they are one of the, that is great because of what they are able to overcome. Okay, great. But we're not going to talk about them comparing to anybody else in the country. It's the same thing with Colorado. Would like to read that quote again, or part of it. Win or lose, it's very clear that people care about Colorado now. Since when does people caring get you anything? All right? You're a Power 5 college football program. I'm sorry, and I know it's early for Deion Sanders, and I have faith that they'll win some games, and they'll probably get even better over the offseason. They'll get more transfers, and they'll do the whole roster flip again. Like, they'll probably have some success going forward. But the metric of people care now is an invalid metric. I do not care that people care now.
Yeah, well, I guess
it shouldn't matter, and it doesn't. I don't think.
I want the fully fleshed out take, I guess. Does it not matter? Do wins and losses not matter because attention is currency in today's day and age?
I suppose that's the logic.
Or does it not matter because he has lifted the sales of this program, and in year one, anything better than last year, which they've already achieved, is gravy, because in the portal, everyone's going to flock to Colorado.
Like, we don't need to be, I don't know what she's trying to say, but we don't need to give this program any more flowers for not, for if they don't make a bowl game. Like, you don't need to defend it. It's like, okay, they went 5-7 on the surface. It is more impressive than what they had done in previous years. You already raised their win total from 1 to 5, which based upon any metric is good. Why do we have to throw in the fact that people care now? What does that matter? What does that matter? Like, that was the big narrative on Fox and ESPN coming out the first couple weeks of the season. Hey, I don't know what's going to happen this week. I don't know what's going to happen against Oregon. I don't know what's going to happen against USC. But whatever happens, just remember, people care about Colorado now. That is not relevant. It's not relevant. And some programs have advantages, built-in advantages, because they have the history and their brand names in college football, and programs like Colorado are trying to fight against that every day that they're alive. So from that perspective, like, if you're going after people caring, if you want people to care about you more, and that's your goal, then I guess great, you're achieving it, but that can't be it. Like, you have to win. You have to actually, like, bottom line, bare bones, win football games at some point too. Once again, I'm not saying that they won't. They probably will. But like, we got to grade them on the same scale as we do everybody else in the country. It's not like they are. I still see people talking about how Deion Sanders should get Coach of the Year nominations. Okay, they won 4 more games. They did a really impressive job. If they go 5-7, they could go 4-8 still, Josh. It's on the table. They got a pretty tough schedule coming up. I'm not trying to bury them or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, we have to sort of grade them on the same scale that we use for everybody else, the same metrics that we use for everybody else.
If Colorado wants to be a big-time Power 5 program, if Deion Sanders wants to be a big-time college football coach.
Right. Because I think that's what they want, right? I don't think it's just for clicks.
Also,
I think they want to win football games. So why wouldn't we just oblige the coach and say, all right, we'll you want to win football games and you want to say that you're one of the best. You want to say that the Heisman's locked up at Travis Hunter's crib right now, then great. You better do that then.
Also,
you got to back it up.
I think because people are going to, Colorado beat Nebraska, so you're talking about this. I think they might wreck people next year.
Do you think Colorado might be that good next year?
I think they might do quite well for themselves in the portal, understandably. And they might run roughshod.
Kevin writes in, the context that's needed is that she loves Deion because they had a show together. I didn't know they had a show together.
Wow, Connor.
I mean, the take still stands.
Yeah.
Take still stands. Hey, look, man. It was to be clear, it wasn't just her. I just saw that one and I grabbed it from over the weekend.
It's been echoed by several other people.
I mean, yes,
over the weekend.
Yes, there's absolutely people who are like, hey, look, Colorado, it doesn't matter what they do the rest of the year. They've already won. It's like, no, they haven't.
A small scale, yes, I guess they have won, but I would imagine everyone involved has larger aspirations than 4 wins.
I think that's what the coach wants. I think that's I think they want to become a program that actually wins football games. I'm pretty sure they do.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we hold them to the standard that they're talking about? Because they talk a big game and we don't want to sit here and bury them when they're down. Like, I don't get it. You should be required, if you're talking that big of a game, to actually win football games. Is that harsh? I don't know. I think it's pretty normal.
Seems very logical.
I think it's very logical. That's all.
Xavier Watts named the Defensive Player of the Week
in college football.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, he had a big game. Josh, you mentioned his stat line yesterday. Very, very good. Once again, I just want to grade Colorado on the same scale as we do for everybody else, not their own scale. Let's not turn this into another Northwestern situation where the media is all over them and they love them, and then they win a title, they win a division championship once every blue moon, and it's like, yes, This is why Pat Fitzgerald is the best coach in the country. Grade him on the same scale as you do everybody else. You can still do really good coaching jobs if you don't win 9 games. You could still have really good coaching jobs if you go from 1 win to 4 wins. Maybe you look at the end of this year and say Deion had a really good coaching job. Okay. All right. But once again, when you talk about having the best, they talk about them having the best players in the country, you're going to have to back that up. Let's take a phone call. We have Triggered Bob, who is not triggered, interestingly enough, on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Hello, Bob.
Hey, Hap. Yeah, shout out to Matt Rhule for turning Triggered Bob into not that Triggered Bob.
Shout out to Matt Rhule. He's made you untriggered?
Yeah, I wanted to call in and comment on a few things and see if what you think. So I saw a clip that Matt Rhule was talking, I think, before the Illinois game. He kept saying, we've said a lot of things. And he repeated it. I'm paraphrasing maybe. But we said a lot of things, but now it's time to show it on the field. And I thought at the beginning of the season it was going to be more of the same with Matt Rhule. But it sounds like he's almost moonlighting as a psychologist for the team.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what we've been saying for the past, decade of how in our heads we are. And I don't know, that was just very refreshing to hear. It was something small, but just stood out to me. And kind of segueing into my question, do you think Nebraska struggles with that more than other programs as their top issue? Or is it just proximity bias, how we just think the players are in their heads about messing up or all the pressure, etc.? Thanks, Hap.
Thanks, Bob. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I'm not close enough with other programs to be able to answer it. It seems very unique. I don't know. I watch other programs around the country and they're relatively consistent. You pretty much know what you're going to expect from other teams on a week-to-week basis. You just haven't been able to do that with Nebraska. So maybe it is just Nebraska. I don't know. I'm not sure I could answer that question like fully truthfully, but I will tell you this. I mean, on the first point there, it's very clear. I mean, he's identified this as the big problem. And he's right. How long have we been saying this? There's just something at Nebraska, something going on within the program where they can't be expected to consistently be what they're supposed to be. Don't know why. Can't figure it out. Matt Rhule's identified the same thing. And maybe it doesn't matter why. Maybe it doesn't matter why anymore. You just have to fix it. I think in order to fix it, you probably want to know the why. And that's what he's addressing. But it's it's the number one problem for him. There's no doubt about it. It's the mental part of this football program. And then you get to the talent, and then you get to worrying about other things, and then you get to think about where you stand in the landscape of college football. Like, you get to that eventually. It's a really fundamental, like, tear down, build back up process. And I think through the first 6 weeks, I think he's kind of torn it down to the studs, and then you sort of work on building it back. But I do wonder, I mean, maybe it's just exclusively Nebraska that has this significant problem where you just have no idea what you're going to get. But I'm not sure. I kind of feel like it is, but that would just be a guess at this point. We will return. More up next on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call on the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. Football season is here. You'll be going to games and you want to see all of the action on the football field. Kugler Vision can help you ditch the glasses or ditch the contacts for good. Visit them online at KuglerVision.com.
Follow your imagination to the Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch. Bring the whole gang and explore for treasure on the pirate shipwreck. See how the West was fun. Pretend you're a superhero as you jump on giant bounce pads. Maybe reserve your own campfire rental where you can roast marshmallows and tell stories. It's all up to you. And of course, go on a hayride and grab your own pumpkin. Priced by the size, not the pound. Follow your imagination at the Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch. 48th between Cornhusker and Highway 370. More info at BellevueBerryFarm.com.
John Party.
That's why they call me Mr. Saturday.
Mr. Saturday Night World Tour.
He was a heartache on the
Friday, October 20th, Baxter Arena. With special guests, Midland, Ella Langley, and DJ Hymax.
Got a little dirt on my boots, but I'm taking you uptown.
John Party.
Last time lonely.
On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss John Party Live.
Snap in action this NFL season with FanDuel. It's America's #1 sports book, and right now, new customers, listen up. You can get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when all you do is place a $5 bet. Listen, the math is pretty good. $200 in bonus bets, win or lose.
And if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, well, first of all, what have you been waiting for? There's no better time to get in on the action. The app is easy to use, a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and much more. Visit FanDuel.com. Use the promo code ZONE. Again, that's FanDuel.com/zone. And kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800.
Saw a story from over the weekend. Couldn't quite squeeze it in yesterday, but here we are. There's still days to talk about it, Josh.
Okay.
They give us all of this time. As the NFL prepares for its, and this is going into last weekend, as the NFL prepared for its third straight Sunday in London, the league has already discussed the idea of one day playing a Super Bowl in the British capital. According to Commissioner Roger Goodell, the Super Bowl in London is not happening anytime soon, but the NFL has at least pondered the possibility of it. Quote from Goodell at a fan forum in London last week, so you know it's real. Quote, it is not impossible, and it is something that has been discussed before. The priority continues to be to play Super Bowls in cities with NFL franchises, but the league also has strong desire to grow its brand internationally, as evidenced by the Titans and Ravens. Yeah, that's a way to grow the game.
Yeah, show them that. They can't resist.
You know, they're taking it to Germany next. We have 3 Super Bowls already on the docket for Vegas this year. Back to the Superdome in 25 and back to Santa Clara in 26. There has been no momentum building yet for a Super Bowl in London, but as one league source told ESPN last week, quote, absolutely, it would make sense. Goodell said,
"What?
I think that is not out of the question, but at the end of the day, I think right now our formula will stay the same about playing Super Bowls in cities that have NFL franchises." So it begs the question, a couple different things. Number one, we've heard this for a long time, the NFL trying to get a franchise in London. Would that be the gateway to then playing the Super Bowl in London?
Oh,
you bet it would.
Yeah,
you bet it would be.
Then you're absolutely going to play one there, right?
You would. So would that have to happen first before playing the Super Bowl in London? It kind of seems like it. Now, what would be your reaction, Josh, if the NFL decided, "Hello, I'm Roger Goodell, and guess what? The Super Bowl is in London in 2028."
Is it weird that my immediate reaction would be, okay, what British actor are you going to get to perform at halftime?
Maybe. My reaction would be this. I would really appreciate it because the game would start at like noon. I think I would really like that.
Oh, yeah, that too.
We have a special guest in the studio.
We do.
Come up here. How you doing?
Yeah, let's do that one over
Red
there.
Kingdom. How's it going? All right. So pull up a microphone.
hello.
Pull up a microphone. We were teasing. Oh, yeah, we got one here. We got one here. We were teasing earlier that we had a special guest.
Yes.
And coincidentally, we were talking about the NFL. And so our special guest, you may have been able to guess it because there's a show at Liberty First Credit Union tonight in Ralston. It's Tech Nine.
Yes, sir.
Tech Nine's here.
Just popped up on you. Yeah, man. We're
Well,
just making our rounds.
So we thought, and they asked, we heard that you were going to be in the studio earlier.
Yes.
I was like, oh, I know you have sports takes.
Oh, man.
So I know you have to get the sports takes off. So whatever you have to do, you go right ahead.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I just know that the Chiefs are going to go to the Super Bowl again. You know what I mean?
That sounds
I have no doubt about that, man.
heard it here first.
I think Patrick Mahomes is untouchable. They call him the Jordan of the NFL, and I'm proud to have him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I bet you've probably gotten pretty close. Like you've met, I'm sure, right?
All the time.
Okay.
I just ran into him backstage.
You go to his house?
Nope, I ain't been to his house yet.
He should invite you over to his house.
Wow, I see Kelsey more than I see everybody though, because we
Yeah,
go
well,
out.
he's
We go
out
out in the
and
city.
about,
Yeah, we go out in the city to eat. So we eat at the same brunch spot, same Capitol Grill all the time. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so he's got a different situation now.
Yes.
So I don't know.
I
I'm not
mean,
sure.
I probably won't see him much now because he's Swifty.
Well, because he closes all the places that he's at now. You know,
Oh, yeah.
he got to shut it down. There's nobody else in there.
His brunches look different.
Yeah, that's because of the Swifty.
I know.
Yeah,
He's gonna shut that whole thing down.
And now his name is Travis Swifty.
Travis Swifty would be an awesome name.
Yes.
Okay, Red Kingdom. Let's talk about Red Kingdom for a second.
Well, I called Omaha, Nebraska one day in 2019, and I said, "Hey, man, I'm trying to do this song for the Chiefs. Man, you remember those rock and roll beats, you know, that you mix with the other kind of like trap?" And I'm like, he's like, yeah. He said, I sent them to you already. And I'm like, can you send them to me again? I want to see if choose one of them. Red Kingdom was one of them. ISO did it. You know what I mean?
How about that?
Yeah.
So you had the version for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I had the version for the Chiefs. I did that in 2019. We lost that year, but it just kept coming back. And then the Huskers hit me like a year or two ago,
Right.
and said they wanted me to do a version called RK Huskers, and they sent me bullet points and everything, like stuff they wanted me to say, you know, within the rap.
So I'm sure people give you that all the time. They're like, can you just throw these things into a rap?
Of course. They do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But I just chose the bullet points that worked.
It
You know
worked.
what I mean?
It worked for
Yeah,
Red
yeah.
Kingdom, the RK Huskers.
Yeah.
Which I think they still play it every game.
I think so, man. Me and ISO just been patiently waiting for them to say, hey, come do it live, you know?
We are also waiting for this.
Yeah. And that'll be big because this is his hometown, man, you know?
Have you ever been out to Memorial Stadium?
I haven't.
I'm
He
sure
has.
you have, ISO.
Of course.
Okay. So what's the environment like? And then have you heard them play Red Kingdom while at a game?
So I haven't been the one that they played it at. The only time that I have heard it was heard it like live like that was at the Super Bowl. We just went out there.
Mhm.
Nice.
That's a flex
Okay,
right
so that's
there.
different.
That was
Yeah.
a flex right there. That was a flex.
My lady, she plays volleyball and stuff like that, and she's from out there, and we were supposed to go to that game. You know what I mean?
The volleyball
Yeah,
day? Oh,
you know
man,
what I'm
that
saying.
was awesome.
So watching it and hearing it, that was crazy. That was super crazy.
It was
Mm-hmm.
that was like an emotional experience. So if you're
Yeah,
the person,
she literally was so mad because like
right,
our sitter didn't come through, and she was just like, you know.
I could imagine for
Yeah.
you if you're the person who like created the song.
Man, it's okay, man, because it always pops up somehow. You know what I mean? It went viral, crazy times on TikTok. You know, and then Trump put more gas on.
Yeah, he did.
And then it was
Trump
all
posted it.
over CNN.
And
It was-
then it was on like the indictment or
when the impeachment or whatever.
impeachment. Yes. It was on the trial. They called it a fight song.
I was like, this is
Amazing.
crazy. Out of nowhere.
You know
And
what I
then it went number one, you know what I mean, on iTunes a few times. You know what I mean? It always
Yeah.
finds its way back.
Republicans hijacked our song.
So I'm
Yeah,
just
they
saying,
did.
hey,
They
when
did.
somebody takes it, it's like you can do what you got to do.
Well, that's the thing about it, man. When you put music out, people interpret it how they want to. You know what I'm saying? You share music, people interpret it. Okay, I'm gonna use it for this. You know, it is what it is.
Okay, here's one for you. Sports take. When are the Royals coming back?
Oh my God, I don't even want to talk about it.
Why
man.
not? We have to talk about the Royals. This is people listen to this show. They know that I'm a Royals fan.
Well, this is what I got to say. They need me to make another anthem for them. Obviously,
yes.
You know what I mean?
That will bring it back.
Yeah, man.
So didn't you do the parade when they won the World Series?
Yes, I did, and I did. That's when I made the song KC Mo anthem. KC Mo roll.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing that tonight live. You know what I mean? I still rep the Royals as well, man, because I'm all Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas. So hopefully, they've been talking to us, trying to get some hats that, we can collaborate on and stuff like that. So maybe they need a little bit more tech energy and we can push them along, man.
We got to get them back at some point. We got to get them back. Guys, thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having us.
We look forward to the
man.
show tonight. Liberty First Credit Union Arena.
Yes, sir.
It'll be rocking down there.
Yes, sir.
We expect probably some Red Kingdom.
Of course.
Okay, all right.
Of course.
I don't want to push anything on you, but
no. It's all good. Red Kingdom and KC Mo anthem. The Royals and the Chiefs will be represented tonight.
Thank you, guys.
I mean, they've been represented right here.
Right there. He's got his Chiefs gear on right there. Straight out of Patrick Mahomes' closet. All right, we'll be back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
My 6-year-old asked me this the other day, and I still don't have the answer. What is the opposite of medium?
The opposite of medium. Oh, my God.
I don't have an answer.
I'm going to Google it. I've never Googled during dumb debates, but I'm going to. I'm getting no answers.
That word does not have an opposite.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
After another cool start this morning, mostly sunny and very pleasant this afternoon with the high in Omaha of 71. Southerly winds a tad breezy at times, up to 15 miles an hour. Tonight, increase in clouds and not as cold. Breezy with a low of 52. Southerly wind gusts possible up to 20 miles an hour. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
There's never been a better time to drive away with a Mazda CX-90 from Woodhouse Mazda, the first ever third-row seating with 8 trims to choose from. And now you can get into a 2024 Mazda CX-90 and get 0.9% APR for 36 months, 1.9% APR for 48 months, 2.9% APR for 60 months, or 3.9% APR for 72 months. Woodhouse Mazda, a drive worth experiencing. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra when financed with Mazda Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing, excludes PHEV models. Offer expires 10/31/23. See dealer for details.
Attention all Nebraska Huskers football fans. Get ready for an electrifying season of college football with Tickets for Less. Experience the thrill of the game and witness the power of a new era under our exciting new head coach. And here's the best part. Use promo code THEZONE to score incredible savings on your Husker tickets from Tickets for Less. Whether you're cheering from the stands at Memorial or plan to catch a game on the road, Tickets for Less has the seats you need. Don't miss out on this opportunity to be part of the Huskers journey. Visit ticketsforless.com and use promo code THEZONE today.
Announcing the 42 Degrees Botanical Bonanza. We're planting all kinds of low prices all over the store at every location. Save up to 50% on Delta, CBD, and Kratom. You heard right, up to 50% on all our CBD, Kratom, and Delta 8 products. Get to 42degrees.com. Then stop by and talk to the most knowledgeable, friendly, and professional staff. It's a botanical bonanza at your source for all your premium Kratom, Delta 8, and CBD. By your mom's house.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here from Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Join John, Nick, and I at Lucky Bucket Brewing for a One Beer Friday brought to you by the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild. Friday afternoon on 1620 The Zone.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
That's the music. Josh's bottom 5 NFL teams. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to drop by. It's why you got to stay with us. 1620thezone.com. Maybe Tech 9 will just show up and talk about sports with us for a couple minutes. Who knows?
Always be listening.
Didn't even get the chance to ask him about 151 rum,
What, does he have a rum?
Malibu juice, about caribou. I don't want to rhyme the next line. That would be bad to say on the radio.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to talk about Caribou Lou. I'm sure he'll do that tonight at Liberty First Credit Union Arena.
Wow.
Star Wars Fiend. You're the one who guessed it earlier. You nailed it. Nice job. I gave you a pretty good hint. Look around. Check the concerts.
The pieces were all there.
I like the idea that him and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are just hanging out.
I had a lot of questions about the brunches between him and Travis Kelce, but it was clearly not the focal point of the interview.
No.
What's that look
you
like?
only got a limited amount of time. You just kind of got to go. But yeah, what's Travis order?
I need a detailed picture of what that brunch looks like.
Avocado toast?
Mimosas?
Mimosas? What is it looking like? Okay, Josh, we are starting to gain, well, I've said that for the last couple of weeks, but we have some separation now. I think
we do
in the NFL with our bottom teams. A lot of these teams will be jockeying for position with each other all season long.
Great take by you. It is the same 5 teams as last week, slightly different order. But if you heard your team on this last week, you're going to hear it again today.
God, come on. Take forever.
Number 5.
Number 5, the New England Patriots again. Yeah. Mac Jones, one of the worst throws I've ever seen in my life.
I think they're number 5 with a bullet.
Yeah, they're a lead bullet. Lead sinks.
It's a lead bullet, right? It wouldn't be going up; it would be going down. Yes. I guess in this case,
yes,
a lead bullet. They're number 5 with a cinder block attached to their ankle.
Yep,
they are ready to go down in an earlier round.
You know all the music.
Look at me, I'm a music guy. Nick claims to be the music guy. I just quoted Fall Out Boy and Tech 9 in the matter of 2 minutes on a sports radio show.
Look at you.
Get after me.
Mac Jones, second most interceptions in the league, 4th worst QBR in the league. And the Patriots have the worst point differential in the AFC, -80. I remind you that the Broncos gave up 70 in a game.
Once again, thank you for reminding us that the Broncos exist. But yeah, this team is bad. They remind me, and a lot of these teams are sort of quarterbackless. But they like remind me of a team who in the NFL you just can't do this. You're just so hamstrung. They sort of remind me of a couple different Nebraska teams, maybe a little of this Nebraska team, right? But just like they're just trying everything they can to piece anything together on the offensive side of the ball. But they can't, like Mac Jones can't throw it more than 6 yards. He's horrible. It's not all his fault. They have problems around him. They've had a dearth of skill talent for years, but like it's very bad. Very not fun to watch. Patriots stink.
Great take by you.
Number 4.
Next take. Next team. For the 5th time this year, tied for the most, the Chicago Bears find themselves in the number 4 slot.
The Bears. Josh.
Justin Fields is hurt.
Can you name Who's going to be the Bears starting quarterback this week?
Only because I watched the Bears highlights this morning. They trotted out some guy, and the name and the college just didn't click, so I had to look into it more. Tyson, I don't even know how to say it.
Bagent. Yes. Tyson Bagent.
A rookie out of Shepherd College.
Shepherd College. Now, is it Shepherd University or Shepherd College?
I believe it is Shepherd College. A D2 school, if I'm not mistaken.
Shepherds? No, just Shepherd.
Shepherd.
Is it the Rams?
Yes.
So that's Shepherd University.
Okay.
Shepherd University, which is located in...
Couldn't tell you. The Northeast.
Washington. Oh, no. Shepherdstown, West Virginia.
They're 6-1 this year, if that helps anybody.
I'm not sure that I have this right, actually. Did he go to Shepherd or did he go to Shepherd's College or Shepherd's University?
College.
Shepherd College.
No, that's a U in the logo.
Shepherd University.
Yeah,
University. Shepherdstown, West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Which is an hour out of DC, famously.
I'm always amazed at how close cities in the Northeast are to each other.
Oh, man. Me too. The driving isn't that long.
Yeah.
But this guy had to make the long drive, probably in his car, from Shepherd to Chicago to play for the Bears.
Yeah.
This is not good, Josh. This is not
good. It has already started, but this week you will see the memes and the videos of, hey, can you name all 29,000 starting quarterbacks for the Chicago Bears since the year 2000?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll put a NFL reporter on camera, and he'll only be able to name like 15 of them, and everybody will laugh and go, you forgot about so-and-so. You forgot about so-and-so. It's very easy to forget about so-and-so because the Bears have had nothing but so-and-sos at the quarterback position.
I do want to say this about Tyson Bagent and his career at Shepherd. All right. So he did win, upon further research, he did win the Harlan Hill, which is the D2 Heisman in 2021.
Okay, that's interesting.
While at Shepherd College. So he's probably that was my next question. Like, how'd this guy get into the NFL?
That was my question that I couldn't find the answer to this morning is
how did he get
where'd
there?
You find this guy?
How did he get there? He did win the Harlan Hill in 2021 when he passed for 5,000 yards and 53 touchdowns.
That's a lot.
And Shepherd went 13-2. They also went 13-2 in his senior year, but he was a weak 41 touchdowns and 8 picks.
Those are rookie numbers.
4,500 yards.
Most career passing touchdowns in D2.
He passed for 159 touchdowns in his Division II career.
Now he's 10 of 14 in the NFL right now, 71% completion.
Yeah.
You're going to like that.
Yeah. I'm going to have to sit DJ Moore on my fantasy team.
You don't think he's just going to...
No, I don't think he's going to throw for 5,000 yards.
Bleep
Josh.
it, DJ Moore down there somewhere this week?
I hope he will. But yeah, it's a risk at this point. Onward.
Number 3.
3. Combination of 3 and 5.
Number 3.
Oh, what do you do with the New York Football Giants? 13 straight quarters without an offensive touchdown. 31st in the league in passing yards, 21st in rush yards, last in points scored.
I mean, the offense is a train wreck.
Worst point differential in the NFL, minus 96. So, I mean, I guess that's not entirely on the defense. That's mostly the offense, not scoring.
I don't know. Like, they should have beat the Bills. They should have won the game.
We let them off the hook.
And they just got out of a very difficult portion of their schedule in which they played the Cowboys, 49ers, Dolphins, and Bills all in the span of 6 weeks. All right. That's tough for anybody.
Sure.
Coming up next in 3 weeks, you get in the next 3 weeks, Commanders, Jets, and Raiders. Dare I say, winnable games even for the New York Football Giants. Josh, I don't know. I'm not ready to bury him yet. I'm not ready to bury him yet.
I mean, there's no way they can score against the Jets defense, right?
Yeah, but are the Jets scoring against the Giants defense?
Right. I mean, that might be 6-3 final score.
I don't know. Like, they're not good. They're not going to make the playoffs, but like, they may work themselves out of bottom 5 territory. They may work themselves out.
Of the 5 that are in here, I would say they are the team that can pull themselves out of this tailspin, even if that means just getting up to 6 and out of this segment every week.
They might be able to do that.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. I said it last week when we talked about the G-men. I'll probably say it next week. Wan'Dale Robinson is a player.
Yes.
Wan'Dale Robinson is a very good football player. He's like their best offensive weapon, saying Saquon Barkley right now.
Danny,
I guess it's maybe the only offensive weapon outside of Saquon Barkley.
Danny Dimes has thrown 6 interceptions. That's 3rd most in the league. He's also been sacked 28 times. That is 2nd most in the league.
He also didn't play this week.
True. Take that into consideration.
Here comes number 2.
Poor Tyrod Taylor. He always gets thrust into the most horrible of situations.
Yes. Hey, we want you to quarterback this team because we got a young guy. He doesn't really know what he's doing. So sit right here while this doctor punctures your lung.
Tough look for the Chargers.
They have not won a game, but they have pulled themselves out of the number 1 position. They are the Carolina Panthers. Congratulations.
Bryce Young looked competent over the weekend.
They were up 14-0 on the Miami Dolphins.
I would say that Bryce Young took a leap forward this weekend. We were ready to bury him last week, Josh. We were ready.
Now, what's his name on the sideline there? Not Matt Rhule, has given up the play calling duty.
He has
this week.
Not a good sign 6 weeks into your tenure.
Right. But a lot of people have said, this OC of their, and I'm sorry, I don't know everybody's name. I don't follow the Panthers.
It's okay.
That he's a hot shot with head coach written all over him. So they're like, why don't you take over the play calling? Show us what you can do, kid.
His name is Thomas Brown.
How could I forget the name Thomas Brown?
Thomas Brown. No, Tom Brown. This week, we are fortunate enough to get Panthers-Texans, which means Stroud versus Young. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That's next week after the bye.
Okay. CJ Stroud is really good.
CJ Stroud's good, folks. Bryce Young might be okay. Bryce Young might be okay. There's a lot going on there.
If you're a Panthers fan, you get that hope of number 1 pick. We got our quarterback. Even if it wasn't the quarterback, you would have drafted hope springs eternal, right? And then boom. Oh my gosh, what a bunch of lumps this kid has to take this year.
So the Panthers' next 3 are as such: CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans, Gardner Minshew maybe in the Colts.
Yeah, sounds like Anthony Richardson is out for the year.
And that guy that we just talked about,
Tyson
Badgers. That guy for the Bears. I don't know.
Never call him by his given name.
Tyson Badgett out of Shepherd.
So
that's 3 weeks in a row for Carolina.
And then the Cowboys. Who knows what'll happen against the Cowboys?
Who knows?
And then they play the Titans.
It could be anything.
Hi, Titans fan here.
Hello.
Winnable game for the Panthers.
That leaves us with just one, Josh.
Just one. Y'all know who it is.
Hell yeah, we do.
Say it with me.
Make it so, number 1.
Number 1.
Broncos country.
Let's
ride. You are the worst, the new worst team in the National Football League.
They challenged the Chiefs. Tech Nine's own Kansas City Chiefs.
First of all, everyone challenges the Chiefs at this point in the season.
But Josh, the Panthers are 0-6 and the Broncos are 1-5. How did you do this? What kind of criteria are you using?
I'm using the criteria that the Broncos have lost 16 straight to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Also, do you not think the Chiefs are the best team in the NFL?
Today,
they lost by 11 at only 11.
Today, I do not think that the Chiefs are the best.
That sounds like some blatant disrespect.
So be it.
Interestingly enough,
2015, the last time the Broncos beat the Chiefs. We've all seen the memes of, hey, this wasn't a thing since the Broncos last beat the Chiefs. Barack Obama was president. A gallon of gas cost $2.37. Can't Feel My Face by The Weeknd was the #1 song in the country.
Nice.
None of the Star Wars prequels had come out.
Nice. Lucky for Denver is they actually have a first-round draft pick this year. Good job by them. And they'll use it to choose a quarterback. And it'll probably be Drake May or Michael Penix.
That's where I'd go personally. Yep. Now, they have allowed the most points in the league, 33.3 per game. That's decidedly not good.
I believe Russell Wilson threw for 90 yards against the Chiefs.
That's not enough.
No.
You're going to want more.
Danielle writes in on the YouTube.
Hi, Danielle.
Bryce Young would make a heck of a jockey if this QB thing doesn't work out. Oof. He really is a tiny, tiny baby boy. He's a small guy.
5'10" is what he's listed as.
Yeah, he's a small guy. Once again, I'm never gonna rip on Bryce Young because I like his tiny mustache.
That's your reason.
I love his tiny mustache. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
Great list. Those teams stink.
They do.
Not the Chiefs. I don't know if you noticed. Not the Chiefs.
No. Chiefs are a top 5 team in this league.
Thank you, Josh. It's about time somebody respected him. More up next on the Connor Happer Show, where we'll dive into bowl projections. Where's Connor Happer headed around Christmas time?
We will get to that after we talk to Louis. Louis.
Thank you, Josh. You're right. Louis Vicaire, WildcatReport.com. Next on 1620 The Zone.
Omaha's most listened to all sports radio station. Again and again and again. 1620 The Zone.
Terrors of the night stalk among the trees. In the distance, fear awaits. A shriek, laughter, then silence. It's the season of darkness at the Ranch of Terror and Haunted Hayride. Spend an hour with nothing to protect you but your own screams. Bring your group and witness unspeakable horrors that test every fiber of your nerves. Hayride and House combo $30 or $19 separately. The Ranch of Terror and Haunted Hayride. BellevueBerryFarm.com.
You know, if we know anything, it's that local matters. Local shops, local restaurants, even locally brewed beers. October is Drink Local Month. So the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild is challenging beer, seltzer, and cider drinkers like you to put your palate through its paces and drink local brews. Because seriously, Nebraska is really on the cutting edge when it comes to brewers who think outside the box. And besides, you really want to be drinking what they drink over in Iowa? Didn't think so. Click Nebraska.beer to find brews near you.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
A psoriasis flare-up can make a walk in the park, well, no walk in the park.
It's that obvious, huh? I've tried so many lotions and creams, but I still have symptoms.
So those don't do enough to treat the inflammation beneath the skin, leaving you with those uncontrolled symptoms.
Makes sense, but what else can I do?
You can get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Make an appointment and, you're already on it.
Hi, yes, I'd like to make an appointment.
Get real clear about psoriasis at letsgetrealclear.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Attention sales professionals. NRG Media is looking for an accomplished business-to-business salesperson who wants to take their success and skills to a new level. Is this you? Our account executives work with local businesses to create marketing plans to help them get more customers. On air, digital, on-site, audio, video, it's all part of what you can sell. A sales career with NRG lets you make a real difference. Get more info and apply online at nrgmedia.com. NRG Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome back. More of the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Odson with you. We're joined now in the 42 Degrees, the Source Hotline. Louis Vaquer, Wildcat Report, because it's Nebraska Northwestern week. Louis, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. I will ask the obligatory, is this the first interview this week, and how many are there in our fun state with all of our radio shows?
Oh yeah, this is my second of the day. I mean, I don't know what the rest of the week looks like, but yeah, Nebraska week is always hopping around here. It's always good to talk to radio people this week for sure.
It's good for business. Good for business.
Yeah.
Okay, so halfway through, we'll just start here. Did you expect to see 3-3 halfway through the season when we started on this journey?
No, I don't think so. I think, David Braun has certainly exceeded expectations so far. Though I will say, part of it was the schedule, right? So they had UTEP and Howard. I think most people thought that they'd win those two games. Minnesota was the one they didn't see coming. And, Northwestern was down 31-10 in the fourth quarter. And they just caught fire, and Ben Bryant started throwing the ball all over the yard, and they got a win in overtime. So that was a really big one. And then they hung with Penn State. So it's been up and down. But, 3-3, I think, exceeded almost everybody's expectations for the season. And people are pretty impressed with the job that David Braun has done so far.
Well, and especially, I think, after the first one. I mean, I remember kind of settling in and watching that Rutgers game on the Sunday morning, the first week of the season. I thought, oh, man, this is going to be, two pretty rough teams. And Northwestern, never really had a chance that day. It feels like, I don't know if they've gotten better every week. Obviously, the competition, like you said, has sort of been up and down. But I mean, even since that day, Louis, like it feels like things have sort of steadied out for them a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. After that first week, I was like, oh boy, how many wins do you see on the schedule? And I think Rutgers is a little better team than we thought too. That's part of it. But and then so they got drubbed at Rutgers, never really competitive, never really in the game. And then the next week they got UTEP. It's 7-7 at the half. So at that point, it looked pretty grim. But since that time, they came back and blew out UTEP in the second half. Duke was a tough one for them, but Duke again, that's a ranked team, top 25 on the road. That's a tough game. They got hammered pretty good there. But since then, Minnesota, they pulled that one out. Penn State, I thought they gave people a lot of encouragement with the loss. I think fans felt pretty good about that one afterwards. They hung with them for about a half into the third quarter anyway. And then last week too, they got a win against Howard, but boy, it was ugly. They had a 16-0 halftime lead and then escaped with a 3-point win. So that one didn't look too good. But all in all, yeah, I would agree with you that I wouldn't. The growth hasn't been steady, but they've been getting better. And they still haven't put together 4 quarters in a game. But they've been better than anybody's expected.
How would you describe the quarterback situation right now?
Well, it's all up in the air. David Braun kind of dropped a bomb yesterday when he said that Ben Bryant has been progressing. He didn't say he's been practicing. He didn't say he was going to play. So we don't know, but it sounded kind of discouraging as far as his availability. So that could be a big problem. I really thought, Ben Bryant in the passing game, I thought was going to be their best shot against Nebraska. Nebraska's got a really good run defense. I didn't think Northwestern was going to be able to run the ball consistently. So I thought, Ben Bryant just throw the ball all over the yard. Without him, it's a lot more dicey. Brendan Sullivan got to start last week or the last game against Howard. And he had kind of a rough outing. He's more of a dual threat athletic guy, not a passer, and I wonder if they're even thinking about bringing Ryan Holinsky in. He's more of a polished passer than anybody they have left. because I think they're really going to need to throw the ball if they want to win.
It's interesting. I mean, you look up and down just statistically. I haven't watched much of Northwestern this year, but seeing Ryan Helinski's name pop up still on the roster and just, not being used at all is intriguing considering, what there is after Bryant at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, Sullivan came on last year as he started a bunch. So Helinski started the first, I don't know, it was 6 games last year, and he was up and down. So they went with Sullivan, and Sullivan had a little more success. He certainly brings a running element that they like, but then he got hurt. So, last year was a scramble. And then, this year, Helinski has played in 2 games. They also have Jack Lausch, who's kind of a guy they use as a wildcat gadget guy that'll come in and run the ball every once in a while because Bryant isn't very mobile. And neither is Helinski. So they've had 4 quarterbacks come in, actually 5 if you count walk-on Cole Freeman. So it's been, week to week, we don't really know. I mean, Ben Bryant is their starter. He's the guy that they want to go with, but he's hurt. So I think everything's on the table right now.
How do you feel about the team? They haven't been on the road in, over a month now, where they'll go back out to Lincoln this Saturday. Last time they were on the road was against Duke. So, I mean, how do you sort of feel? They've only played the 2 games on the road with that one and then the early one against Rutgers. There was a lot of conversation, obviously the offseason coming off of what happened, sort of about the team and how they're able to sort of galvanize themselves. I'd imagine, like you said, they're feeling okay about themselves, but taking that and making it portable to the road. Like, is there any concerns outside of like the football part for Saturday?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. They did actually, Rutgers and Duke are their 2 worst performances of the season for sure. But I don't think that, the fact that they were playing on the road had that much of an influence on it. And, Northwestern typically plays pretty well on the road, and especially at Nebraska. They've done very well there over the years. So I don't think, it's almost kind of a us against the world kind of mentality when they're on the road, and they certainly don't get those big crowds. That adds a certain excitement, I think. They don't get it in Evanston at all. And really, when you think about it, it's going to be training for the next couple of years, because if the stadium goes through, they're going to be homeless for a couple of years playing in a couple different venues. They're going to be like vagabonds for the next couple of seasons. So, maybe it's good training, and like I said, they played pretty well in Lincoln before. I don't think that's going to be that big a deal.
Hey, last time we talked, it was amidst the whole thing. What is the update with the stadium? Is that going to happen?
So they had sort of a mixed result. They had an Evanston City Council meeting because Evanston is fighting it because Northwestern wants concerts there to help offset the cost, and the neighborhood around it is pushing back. So the committee, they had this land use commission. They said they gave the go ahead to the stadium, but they didn't approve the concerts. So now it hasn't gone to city council yet, but we don't know how much those concerts are going to impact the construction of the stadium, or whether NU will just go forward to the stadium and try to tackle the concert question later. We don't know. But all indications are that Northwestern is planning to move ahead, that they've got the funding in place, and that they're going to break ground after the season. But, like everything else, everything's sort of up in the air right now in Evanston. We don't know who the coach is going to be, the staff, players may leave, the athletic director's under fire, the president is under fire. Everything is sort of up in the air right now.
I was going to say, like, obviously that noise, just the buzz about it has calmed down since over the summer. But I mean, now they get to play football and it feels a little bit different, but you just mentioned all those things again. I mean, it's still sand. Nothing from my point of view, Louis, has really changed on that situation since the season started, outside of Northwestern's won a couple games. Like, is anything different from where we left off?
No, I mean, not really. There's all these pending lawsuits from players. Fitz filed his suit. It was last week, I think it was last week, or maybe the week before. So his suit is out there now. There's all the uncertainty around David Braun. whether he's going to come back and how many of the staff and whether he can recruit at a Power 5 level. Can he fill out his staff if they do go with? I mean, there are just so many questions right now, and there's so much up in the air. I think, fans and certainly the players in the program, they just want to play football. That's all they want to do is focus on the next opponent and just try to keep things familiar and keep plugging through. And you got to give David Braun and the entire staff and the players credit, because that's what those guys go out there and they play hard and they've been in games and there's no quitting them and there's all this uncertainty, but that hasn't impacted them on the field. And they're certainly a pretty tight knit unit, and it's they're 3-3, and it's impressive what they've done so far.
Matt Rhule was pretty complimentary of Braun yesterday. Now I don't know that that's totally outside of what it would normally be going into a week against any opponent you have in the Big Ten. There's a pretty tight knit community there, and I think Rhule wants to send a message and say, hey, this is no walkover game. But I mean, he as it stands, he was pretty complimentary, and I think most coaches would look at the job that he's done so far, David Braun has done so far, and say, man, he's got him playing. At least they could have rolled over and died. Like, I guess how has that gone as it pertains to him maybe putting his name in the hat to get the job full time at the end of the year?
Oh, I think so. I think he will certainly be considered. I mean, I don't think there's any question about that. And, you talk about a team that keeps fighting. That Minnesota game I keep coming back to, they had a 4th down in their end, and Minnesota ran for a touchdown. Darius Taylor had like a 40-yard run for a touchdown to make it 31-10 early in the 4th quarter. It looked over. And those guys came back and they outscored them 21-0 the rest of the game and got the win in overtime. That was, that shows you this team still got heart. They got a lot of fight, and you got to give Braun a lot of credit. The players absolutely love him. That was evident from day one, and this was their pick to kind of take over for Fitz, and a guy that he was only, in his job since January. He just arrived at Northwestern. It's his first Power 5 job. It's his first head coaching job at any level. So this guy's drinking from the fire hose, and he's done I think a remarkable job just trying to keep the team focused, keep everything together, and just move week to week. I think he's going to get consideration. I think he should get an interview for sure. I think he hasn't done quite enough yet in my mind, but he is certainly building a resume for himself, whether it's Northwestern or somewhere else moving forward. That this guy is he's a leader in a locker room and someone that really connects with players, and I think he'll get an interview anyway.
If I'm counting right, these two teams have played 12 times. They've played 12 times since Nebraska joined the league. I think they're 6-6.
They are
against each other. And that's over. Nebraska said, this is their 4th different coach during that time period. Northwestern's had a whole bunch of now upheaval. Are you expecting anything less than a close game on Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, the Ben Bryant situation puts a wrench in it for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that the passing game gave them the best chance offensively to put some points on the board. I think, defensively, they're just going to try to keep Harburg in the pocket, try to contain the running game, make him throw the ball. They did that pretty well against Penn State as kind of a similar situation. And, I think they'll be able to hang in there, but unless they get something from the offense, I think that defense is going to wear down. It just makes it a lot tougher. But the one thing I will say, Nebraska still, I was looking there, I think they're 130th in the country in turnover margin, right? They're -7 on the season. So if they, throw the ball to NU a couple times and keep them around, they can, I think their goal is keep it close late in the game. And, historically Nebraska, has given some games away. So I think that's their goal, is just try to hang in there and put some pressure on the situation and see if they can get a couple turnovers and maybe, sneak one out of there.
You never know, I guess, when it's these two teams
right.
going up against each other. All right, Louie, appreciate the time, man. Enjoy the rest of your week and have a safe trip out to Lincoln.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
That's Louie Vaquer of Wildcat Report, the authority on Northwestern athletics, Northwestern football. You believe that, Josh?
He'll get around this week. Yes, I do believe Louie is the authority.
Do you believe this? 6 wins, 6 losses for both sides. This is the tiebreaker before the Big Ten West splits up.
Oh, yeah. Very evenly matched.
They've alternated wins for the last 4 years prior to this year. Northwestern won 2 in a row in 17 and 18. Then they alternated in 16, 15, 14. Nebraska won in 16. And then Nebraska won 2 in a row in 13 and 12, both they won by a field goal and a point. And then there was the very famous 2011 Kane Coulter surprise game. Surprise! We're here. What's that? Nebraska's a top 10 team again? They just got done beating Michigan State by they ousted Michigan State the week before. What's that? Northwestern's here? Yeah, we're here to ruin your day. That was one of the worst, that was one of the worst experiences I've had watching a football game. It was exactly like that. It was like I was suffocating. It was like, why can't I stop this from happening? Never in a million years would I have thought Nebraska was even capable of losing to Northwestern. Look at what we've become now. That seems asinine. That seems crazy. But we were different people 14 years ago, Josh.
We were
different people. And I did not see 2011 coming in my wildest dreams. But it happened. And now the great tiebreaker, the battle for NU. Officially. Ooh. Who knows? I mean, do we play these guys? Are they on the schedule next year?
Oh, they got to be.
Are you sure?
Storied rivals.
I mean, we have a schedule. We have opponents anyway.
The Big Ten loves tradition.
Northwestern not on the docket in 2024. Wow. That'll be for the first time since 2010.
Sad.
Those two teams won't play each other.
They are on the docket for 2025.
Even in the COVID year, they played each other. We don't talk about the COVID game against Northwestern. Doesn't count. And Adrian Martinez, that was the day he was benched.
People forget.
Remember, he threw that ball into the end zone to nobody? Oh, there's been some very memorable moments in this series. I think Northwestern covers on Saturday. I do. I think Nebraska wins. I think Nebraska chokes them out late. But I think they're going to hang in there. And I just don't think Nebraska has enough offense to get over, to really
run it up, quote unquote.
No, I just don't think they have that. So I'm expecting a competitive football game. I don't know about anybody else. I am.
Nebraska hosts Northwestern in 25 and 28.
25 and 28. So they're scheduled to go there in 26, theoretically?
Nope.
What about 27?
Nope.
So Nebraska doesn't go there?
Until at least 2029.
And by that time, theoretically, their new stadium will be done.
Yeah.
Nebraska doesn't go to Northwestern until 2029.
Let me phrase it more accurately. There are no scheduled trips to Northwestern on the docket.
Nebraska will not play in Evanston, Illinois from November 7th of 2020 or November 8th, starting November 8th of 2020 until some point in 2029. They're in the same conference. Now, they did have a trip to Dublin in there.
Sure.
Stupid league. Back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Many people go back to the dealership out of habit or because they think the dealer is the only one who knows how to fix their car. At Omaha Car Care, we offer a better option. We have ASE certified technicians, the technology to service any vehicle, and free loaner cars. The dealer will sell you a package of services. We'll provide the service you want for your car as your trusted partner. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
Visit Sid Dillon Chevrolet, Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer, to find the perfect vehicle for wherever your plans take you. Shop SidDillonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
An estimated 80% of Americans aren't getting their recommended daily amount of physical activity. It's time to move and keep moving, America. And when you need help, physical therapists and physical therapist assistants are by your side. Be your own champion. Choose more movement. Choose better health. Choose physical therapy. Find out more information and a physical therapist at choosept.com/NE. Brought to you by the American Physical Therapy Association of Nebraska.
Get a full breakdown of what went right and what went wrong immediately after every Nebraska game with Big Red Overreaction. Presented by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. And by Coors Light, keeping Nebraska chill. Also brought to you by J. Sennett Contracting, Tinman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, and Rotella's Italian Bakery. Immediately after the game, join the show and sound off with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Big Red Overreaction with the Keg and 1620 The Zone.
We created a simple PDF that gives you everything you need to know about branding, designing, and building a website that increases revenue. Download the website playbook for free at jmonline.com. If you're considering a website project but not sure who to hire, go to jmonline.com and download the free website playbook. It's a guide to a high-performing website. That's jmonline.com.
In Omaha, Bailey's Breakfast is the king of sausage, which is why they celebrate Sausage Fest. It's everything sausage from Italian, Polish sausage, and andouille to hot links, maple patties, and chorizo. Even live music from Barry Boyce. Get details at baileysbreakfast.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
All right, welcome back. More of the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Our friend Bill Connolly of ESPN, I was almost going to say SB Nation. I was thinking of the olden times.
Wow, the before times.
Bill Connolly ranked every single college football team, Division I all the way down to Division III.
I'm sorry, I thought there'd be more. You just said every single football team.
Period. He should throw the 32 NFL teams in here too.
Mm-hmm.
There are 65 college football teams as governed by the NCAA. In case you're wondering, Michigan is the very best out of all of them. Number one, according to SP Plus. 665, because that's where my eyes went immediately. I don't know about you.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know. I think that's how you know if you're a sicko.
It would be the second question I asked.
Yep. Where's Nebraska? Who's last?
Yep.
That would be it.
And then I would ask who's first.
Last, Fitchburg State.
Oh yeah, they're terrible.
They're an 0-7 Division III team who's lost every game by more than like 2 touchdowns so far this year.
We looked this up before the show. They've won 1 game since COVID.
They are last, along with the likes of Oberlin, Dean, Lawrence. Grinnell's in there. Poor Grinnell College in Iowa.
But they shoot so many 3-pointers.
Different sport. Nebraska came in at number 54. They're only worse than one FCS team, by the way.
Oh.
South Dakota State's a wagon this year.
Mm-hmm.
Number 29 in SP Plus right now. So the other part about SP Plus is immediately spits out fake, lines, betting lines, supposed betting lines, because that's how it keeps track basically. Number 1 Michigan would be favored over number 665 Fitchburg State by 156 points. if they were to meet on a neutral field tomorrow.
Oh, so if it was at the big house, it'd be by more.
It'd be
3 points more.
159, yeah. And I think I'd take Michigan to cover. I mean, seriously, would you take Michigan to win by 150 points?
You need to
you don't have much time, but I think they could do it.
You need to say okay, there will be no. Okay, we're up 60 points. Let's run it up the middle. You have to both sides actively try.
See, I don't think that's true though.
For 4 quarters.
It's a Division III school, Josh. They're gonna. It doesn't matter who they put out there. They're gonna push them around.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true.
I mean, I think they could. I know it sounds insane, but I think they could win by 160 points. Just by playing.
JJ McCarthy's line: 6 of 9.
No, less incompletions. I'm going to say 8 of 8 for 175 yards and 4 touchdowns. And then he comes out, and then the next guy has the exact same stat line. And then the third guy has the exact same stat line. And then the fourth guy, maybe he throws 25 passes or something like that.
Why are they throwing the ball so much?
They just like it. They need to win by 160 points. They need to cover that spread.
Okay.
There you go. There's your that would definitely be the Sickos game of the week if it were to happen.
What was the number?
156.
Okay.
Michigan minus 156 against Fitchburg. Oh, actually, he did this for Fitchburg at Michigan. So it is 156, 153 on a neutral field, if you want to do it that way. Elsewhere, speaking of bad teams, how about bowl? Oh, good question here that I just received. What would be the spread for number 54 Nebraska against number 569?
Nice.
Who's number 569, you ask? And why are we wondering about this? Nebraska Wesleyan.
Oh, interesting.
I would have to click on the link and see if that could get me there at some point. Maybe Bill Connolly has done this, but he just has the list that he gave us. I don't know that we actually have the interactive SP Plus number, but I'd be curious. How much would Nebraska be favored against Nebraska Wesleyan? Be like a home game for Nebraska Wesleyan. They have a bunch of fans.
Poll question up at Happer Show. Would you take Michigan minus 156 versus D3 Fitchburg State?
D3 0-7 Fitchburg State. I think I would. Poll questions up. Bowl games. So Nebraska going to a bowl game, and we have to will it into existence. I know Matt Rhule doesn't like talking about going to bowl games, but we're going.
He doesn't want his players to talk about it.
You're going to have to pony up on those Taylor Swift tickets, Coach.
Yep.
You're getting a bonus because you're going to a bowl game, and you're going to pony up on the T Swift tickets. I'm sorry. The Athletic today put out their bowl projections, and they projected Nebraska to the Music City Bowl, which is the highest I've seen them in any bowl projection all year.
Oh, let's go.
That game takes place on December 30th, Josh. That's late. That's almost New Year's. And they'd be playing Missouri, according to this projection.
Oh, we could swap stories about the olden times.
I know. We could all eat hot chicken together. Quick Lane Bowl. Mark Schleybaugh says we're going to the Quick Lane Bowl, which we're canceling Mark Schleybaugh.
He's dead to us.
Don't go to the Quick Lane Bowl. Kyle Bonagura.
Don't even know who that is.
He's also an ESPN guy. Says Nebraska is going to meet up with old friend Miami in the Pinstripe Bowl.
Oh, let's go.
Maybe one of the Cavender twins will be there, and we could get her a New Era hat. Oh wait, New Era doesn't sponsor that. It's a Bad Boy mower. We get her a Bad Boy mower.
They would put they'd put the Cavender twins on a riding mower.
Well, didn't one of them retire?
Well, one of them's taking a gap year
to go do WWE.
Well, they're both tried to do WWE. I don't think that worked because one of them has retired from basketball. The other has taken a gap year and will return next basketball season. But she's in the portal. She is already set.
She'll go somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. A lot of possibilities for that. Thoughts on Brett McMurphy's projection of the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, which is in Phoenix.
Come on, Brett.
Against Kansas. The day after Christmas.
We could swap stories about the olden times.
Another opportunity to do so. 24/7 Sports. This is the last projection. also has Nebraska ending up in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl in Phoenix, which I am in support of.
Mm-hmm. I like that. It's a good bowl. Nice bowl.
Against, day after Christmas, by the way, against BYU. Say it again, Josh. We could swap stories about the olden times.
Remember that Hail Mary?
Remember that Hail Mary? I remember it. I remember it well. I remember it all too well, as Taylor Swift said.
Clever.
Maybe she'll be in Phoenix that weekend.
That
Rhule can get the tickets.
I was in Provo last week.
I want to tell you guys, I haven't made any bowl projections for this year, nor do I plan to, because I don't know anything about anything. But here's what I have done. I have bought a very extremely refundable room at the MGM Grand in case the Vegas Bowl is there on December 23rd. Just so you know.
Amazing.
I've also purchased a very refundable flight on Southwest Airlines, which goes directly there.
So you're locked in, ready to go. If this
I'm ready
happens.
to go. If this happens, all you got to do is say the word. I'm already there. Once again, very refundable.
Come on, Vegas Bowl.
Come through for me. Poll questions tell you what to watch when we return on 1620 The Zone.
Your Omaha area forecast, presented by Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch, from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Sunshine and warm temperatures for your Tuesday afternoon, with the high today in Omaha of 71, a tad breezy with southerly gusts possible up to 15 miles an hour. Tonight, clouds slowly increase. Temperatures not as cool with a low near 53. A chance of sprinkles tomorrow. Temperatures topping out near 67. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
We created a simple PDF that gives you everything you need to know about branding, designing, and building a website that increases revenue. Download the website playbook for free at jmonline.com. If you're considering a website project but not sure who to hire, go to jmonline.com and download the free website playbook. It's a guide to a high-performing website. That's jmonline.com.
The brand new Dollar General Distribution Center in Blair is now hiring. Starting wage is up to $22 per hour with benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Again, apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Dollar General can't wait to have you become a team member at their brand new distribution center.
John Party. That's why they call me Mr. Saturday. Mr. Saturday Night World Tour. Friday, October 20th, Baxter Arena with special guests Midland, Ella Langley, and DJ Hymax. Got a little dirt on my boots, but I'm taking you uptown. John Party. Last night only. Here I go again, I'm drinking one. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss John Party Live.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's today's Husker Max Practice Report, brought to you by Tickets for Less on 1180 and 1620 The Zone.
Husker football head coach Matt Rhule says he just wants his team focusing on going 1-0 every week.
I feel good about where our team is, but our team has got to eliminate the looking past just what's important this week. When we got embarrassed in Michigan, we didn't think about anything else other than Friday night. And we were locked in. And we're going to find out about myself as the head coach and our coaches and our players and our staff. Can we have that same focus this week? We better.
Rhule officially announced who will be the starting quarterback against Northwestern this Saturday.
Yeah, I think, we're working hard to get Jeff to be the best that he can be. We're working hard to get Heinrich and Chubb to be the best that they can be. We'll play with Heinrich, for now. Jeff is ready to go on a moment's notice. Sometimes we mix him in with the ones a lot in practice.
For The Zone, I'm Matt McMaster.
The Husker Max Practice Report, brought to you by Tickets for Less on 1180 and 1620 The Zone.
Attention all Nebraska Huskers football fans. Get ready for an electrifying season of college football with Tickets for Less. Experience the thrill of the game and witness the power of a new era under our exciting new head coach. And here's the best part. Use promo code THEZONE to score incredible savings on your Husker tickets from Tickets for Less. Whether you're cheering from the stands at Memorial or plan to catch a game on the road, Tickets for Less has the seats you need. Don't miss out on this opportunity to be part of the Huskers journey. Visit ticketsforless.com and use promo code THEZONE today.
A lot of respect for the Chiefs today on this show. I just want to tell you guys.
No show on 1620 The Zone respects the Chiefs more than the Connor Happer show.
I actually think that's true. I actually think that's true.
Mitch Holtis doesn't even know we exist.
That's probably true too.
Poll question? Feels like a poll question. I don't want the results though.
No, I don't want to hear that. At Happer Show, that's where you can vote. We had a couple from yesterday.
Yeah, the PM crossover questions.
Is Coach Prime the new Oregon? Like the Oregon. Yes, I remember this. Yeah, yes, he was.
I agree.
63% said no. Are we booing anymore? Yes, we're still booing.
Yeah.
66% said yes.
Good.
To today, is every child named Hudson?
I'm going to go yes. In spirit.
Yes, everybody's named Hudson now. 67% say no. Maybe taking it a little too literal. Were we different people 14 years ago?
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. 86% say yes. And finally, would you take Michigan minus 156 against D3 Fitchburg State?
It's a lot of points.
I'm going to say yes. Currently, 69% say no. They would not. They would take Fitchburg State to cover. You guys are nuts.
Knowing full well that Fitchburg State will score 0 points.
I believe in Michigan to get 157.
Nice.
Those are the poll questions. Josh, what are we watching tonight?
We are watching baseball.
Yes, we are.
Tonight.
We love baseball.
TBS, 7 o'clock. It's NLCS Game 2. Diamondbacks and the Phillies. Merrill Kelly versus Aaron Nola. Philly leads that series 1-0 after hitting a bunch of homers yesterday.
Any comments?
I mean, that's what they do. Happy birthday, Bryce Harper.
It was his birthday. How old did Bryce turn yesterday?
I'm not a monster. I don't know. She's got to be younger than me.
Bryce Harper turned 31 years old yesterday.
Significantly.
He was born in the awesome year of 1992.
Interesting.
When most cool people were born.
Feels biased by you. 6 o'clock, CBS Sports Network tonight. We've got Conference USation. Middle Tennessee State at Liberty.
It is time for some midweek football.
2-touchdown favorite are the Flames. Western Kentucky, 7.5-point favorite at Jacksonville State tonight, 6 o'clock on ESPNU. No low smo for Jacksonville State.
No, he's questionable, right?
Yeah, he was.
That was a Pete tweet.
It appears as though they're going to go with the other guy, whoever that may be. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Nope.
Southern Miss takes on South Alabama tonight, 6:30 on ESPN2. The Jaguars are a 17.5-point favorite in that one. Hockey doubleheader tonight on ESPN. Lightning Sabres, 6:30 start, followed by the Avalanche at the Kraken. Home opener for Seattle tonight. All aboard the Crack Wagon.
Crack Wagon, thank you.
Choo-choo. VH1, 7 o'clock tonight. Celebrity Squares, the series premiere. DC Youngfly, I don't know who that is, hosts this reinvention of Hollywood Squares, which puts a modern twist on the classic format with an emphasis on black pop culture trivia.
I thought there was going to be another award show tonight.
No.
That's disappointing.
Country music is due for another award show, though. We'll get that later, I'm sure. And tonight, 7 o'clock on Paramount, The Departed. Watch an old Martin Scorsese movie before his latest, Killers of the Flower Moon, hits theaters this weekend. Both movies star Leonardo DiCaprio.
Hell yeah, they do. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That's the show. That's what we're watching tonight. If you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. The crossover's next.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio,